I've been in Adelaide all week, and the talk of the town was that great Malcolm Blight. Has Bruce McAvey slowly come down to earth? And you mentioned, was he going to be on CNN? I had a phone call from Italy. Guess what? It was.
Good on you.
Well done, Bruce.
Good on you, Dipper. Well, Jman has gone forward.
Well, he's been in good form. He's kicked those goals in the last couple of weeks. He's kicked 9 goals, 6 and 3. And it looks as if Fraser Gehrig could oppose him, Dermot. Now, we've got height and pace, and maybe Malcolm might be saying, hey, Gehrig, with your pace, run off him.
And Bassett's gone to haul at the other end.
Start of the match, so the stakes have been raised a bit, haven't they, this week? A big game for the Crows anyway, but the Saints, they certainly won't go through the motions after Blighty's week. And Robert Walls this morning in The Age really went through the Saints, how much they get paid and how much they're worth. I tell you what, Dermot, I'm trying hard tonight. I don't know about you.
I've got the time and motion clock on you.
Oh, no. So Clark and Everett will be one of the key jewels. Everett gave him a shove. He'll be disappointed.
Gee, just at that ruck contest there, Crows players ran forward of the play to really bold play.
Stenglein, looks like he's playing down back. Johnson with him young. Rashudo with a bit of brute strength, gets it out. Vardy gets it back. Good one, left footer to the goal square. Bit of a chance in the front by Hewitt. Rush through from behind.
And what I meant by that, at that ruck contest in the centre of the ground, the ball was in dispute. Nobody had won it, and yet 3 Crows players bolted forward in anticipation. So pretty risky, but if it comes off, you're in a good position.
Stevens is lined up at centre-half forward for the Crows sorry, centre-half back he is down there.
He's on Riewoldt,
yeah,
Dermot.
Riewoldt's at centre-half back.
So Smart there with Begley. Begley who's done very well to Baker. Think he might get the job on McLeod. Here's Voss, as Woolsey said, 50th game. Back to Thompson, a floating kick. Hamill there, so Stenglein might have Hamill. That's interesting. Callahan's hands were very quick. Gets it out to Powell. We know he's a good shot for goal. It's a wobbly old one, and he's missed. Never quite connected, did he?
No, loose off the boot, didn't go through the air. That's disappointing because Callahan's handball really set Robbie Powell up.
So Malcolm Blight there, what a week he's had. He's such an intriguing character. You would never quite know what's going through that brilliant mind of his. Bassett, Clark and Hall, Clark front spot. Rashudo just didn't time it that well. Thompson got it over to Powell. Chance. Saints, I reckon they might have their first. They have. It's a Cripps.
Yes.
He's done it. Cripps. Can you believe that? What a fairy tale. 3 years it's been since he's had a kick.
Well, keep the camera on him. This has got to be one of the highlights of this kid's life at the moment. 3 years wondering where I'm going to get my next touch of a footy out on AFL Arena. And look how he does it. Straight through. Under pressure, he had the body travelling in the line with the goals, Wolsey, and that's where it went. Look at that emotion.
Just terrific for the Saints. They couldn't have asked for a better start, and good handball again there by Robbie Powell, who missed that shot at goal, so he'd be pleased that he contributed with that goal.
If you wanted the emotion to ride for the team and you picked one bloke to kick a goal at the start, that'd be it for your team, just to get a buzz.
What an amazing start for him and the Saints.
Well done, son.
He's been through so much. Well, he's had the perfect start. Edwards out of the centre. Good mark, Kosicki. He's a young gun. I think Wolsey summed it up pretty well. He's had a lot of footy for a kid this year, but he's done well, hasn't he?
He's only missed 2 games. He's played 13 of the 15 games, and as a young teenager, he will start to wilt towards the end of the season.
Oh, Cripps again. That's a horrible mistake. Rashudo could make him pay. It's half a chance for the bounce. Oh, well, from the sublime to the ridiculous, isn't it?
But that's a timing thing. That's from playing in league footy, not enough time in it. Just knowing that, oh yeah, he's taken a sandwich there. We also saw that Peter Vardy almost ran onto the ball there for a score. He's got young Caden Beetham, who's very talented, but Blight's got him on the back flank, and if Vardy's hands are working tonight, he'll have a good night against Beetham. He's too creative for Beetham's negating skills.
Hey, Dermot, just talk about Jason. Like, he has never been to this ground before, and really, in the last 3 years, hasn't football changed?
It sure has. Crowd burn robbed him much. And the other thing, Dipper, I'm glad that he kicked a goal before that second kick. If that had been his first one, it would have been a difficult night, I think. He'll settle. He's found the footy twice. And again, a ball up.
Bruce, the two ruckmen who are rucking at the moment, Spider Everett and Matthew Clark, they are really rucking well for their teams this year. They're in the top 3 tap ruckmen as far as stats go, and Clark especially is very good in these situations.
Watch him here. Smart gets over the top. Thompson cut off there by Rashudo. Cripps again. He's getting a bit of it. Here's Baker. Kick to centre wing. Riewoldt first. Oh, good mark, Bickley.
He's as brave as they come.
Pushes to Clark. Wants to get it on, and he does, to Stevens. Had a good year, Stevens. Runs hard at centre wing. Neat kick down the line. Good one. Finds Vardy.
That's a real dangerous matchup, that one. Beatham's got a lot of talent, but his negating skills are untried at the moment. He's going for home.
That's a good kick. Gee, that is a good kick. Marked on the line by Gehrig. Comes away and pumps it a long way out. Crows have got to defend now. Perry decides to go with the right and kicks to about 25 metres. Fly came at the back from Hewitt. Young's handball okay.
Clever.
Back to Powell. Powell's got a bit of time now. He's a neat kick normally. Riewoldt caught underneath. Stevens. Good mark, Stevens.
Just the strength and experience of Stevens, just a little nudge into the young fella to take the mark falling backwards.
Bickley to Rashudo. So the Rood doing well early. Good kick to Jman. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thought he got a shove. No free kick. Callahan down deep. Belts it out only as far as Smart.
Plays good football on the wing nowadays, Smart.
Short to McLeod. So the Crows are 5-2 inside 50. It's been the story of their year. Non-conversion. Perry the target. Can't take the mark. It was only a 50-50 chance. Perry with a chance in the pocket. Little kick. Good. That's clever. I tell you what, I've seen a fair bit of him. That's not one of his strengths.
That's as good as you're going to get from you on foot skills. Yep, he doesn't kick it all that good, but I reckon if he could improve it somehow, that's a pretty ugly drop. A little bit of Anthony Ingerson in that ball drop there, but if he can improve it, he can seriously take a catch, this bloke. He's a very good mark overhead. Good finish.
Crows bench. It's Neil Craig in the foreground with John Reid. Gary Ayres in the background there. Terry Moore alongside him, former fullback. Crows look sharp, don't they, even though the Saints got the first goal?
Yep.
Everett goes. Clark beats him. Edwards second time out of the centre. So Perry at centre half forward. Oh, good grab.
That's his strength. He's very strong overhead, and an interesting matchup. You've got Aussie Jones on Andrew McLeod. Testing night for Aussie.
So they all lead to him. They know he can't get the distance, and Simon Goodwin has just floated into that zone. All the forwards let out, Bruce. Left it wide open. They all vacated that area, that zone, about 25 metres from goal.
Yes, they did that with the other ball that came in from outside 50. McLeod trying to get it across to Perry before, and it's good unselfish forward play. Forwards lead, knowing the ball won't come to them, but they open up space behind them.
Surprised a few, I think, last year with his All-Australian selection, but he's got even better this year. He's hooked it, but he's straightened it up as a goal. I think he played in 2 premierships in about 25 games of footy, Goodwin. It was one of those Kane Johnson type freaky stories. Hardly any footy and 2 flags.
Geez, professional the way he goes about it too.
Just terrific action shot there. It showed the forwards leading from the goal square to the opposite side of the ground, opening up that side for Goodwin to come from midfield to run into space.
Edwards has been the key, hasn't he, in the centre square.
2 takeaways.
Clark again doing pretty well, and then pushing forward to Johnson. Young hurled up. Johnson wants him. Ball up.
Rashudo's made a change with McLeod, who you would have seen start in the forward line. So McLeod snuck up to the back of the pack here, and somebody's trying to work out who's on him.
They're not too sure, are they?
Clark pushed out a bit. And a bit of a wrestle, and again a ball up.
Andrew Thompson decides to take Andy McLeod. Rashudo, who's been in for the first few centre bounces, he's pushed into the forward line. And Aussie's got him, so Rashudo's gone right back to the goal square, and in a marking contest, you would expect Rashudo to be too strong for Aussie.
Does lead well as a full forward too, Rashudo.
Smart did beautifully. McLeod to run onto it. Can't beat them all. He almost did. Then got a hurried kick away. This is a contest at centre-half forward. Kosicki, again, impressive, isn't he?
Very brave mark.
Goes wide again. Callaghan on the receiving end. Cripps. So fourth possession for Cripps. 3 of them have been very good. That one found Hamill. So Stenglein, their run with play, gets Hamill tonight. Now Barry Hall wants it. Hamill's going to kick it to him. Hall gets rid of his opponent, and Bassett can't take the mark. Terrific tackle. There's Bickley involved. Ball up.
I reckon Barry could have got 2 hands up then. He tried to fend off, and watch this left hand. Oh, sorry, that's the tackle on it. Yeah, good takedown there. But Barry's marking attempt, he tried to leave the left hand out there and fend off a mark at one arm. Fend off and then grab it.
Everett, but back to Powell. Powell's kick is going to be, I think it was touched off the boot. It was, and it's a behind anyway. It wasn't a bad try. So he's had a couple of shots as Robbie Powell. Back in last week. Guess he's playing for his future like a few Saints tonight. Short from Hart. Edwards, productive early. Bad, well, not a bad kick. He actually got Shirley to run onto it. Shirley made a blue at the back. Thompson cut it off. And then banks at the centre-half forward. Voss and Hart. Hart belts away. Powell lively early. Dropped it. Wants a free kick. Doesn't get it. Shirley hooks it back in underneath. Ball up. He can make a blue with a footy, Robbie Shirley, both by foot and hand. That's the question mark over him at the moment.
Just his ability to think through the situation, Bruce. They're probably developing into a second tagger behind Stenglein.
Gee, Spider had it a long time. Gallagher, little give was terrific. McLeod couldn't quite take it. Bassett brave, and then belts it up in the air. Johnson versus Young. Young just did well. Riewoldt, first time we've seen him. Good tackle. They're not making life easy for him. Gee, Stevens was good then. To Smart. Okay. Put Gallagher under the pump. Ball up.
Good tackling by the Saints. Good tackling because it looked as if the Crows were away. But Begley in particular, very strong there. There he is in picture.
Now the kid Riewoldt behind play while we have a look at this replay. There he is. He copped one across the head there. He's actually got a bit of a limp up at the moment, Riewoldt, and he did have clean hands off the deck too. That was a great sign.
It was eyes only for the footy, wasn't by Riewoldt. The kick forward by Wolf, only his second game. Riewoldt again.
Good hands.
Takes them on.
Does have a good set of hands, Bruce, below the knees, but I wouldn't mind seeing how he gets up here. He limped away from the last contest.
Looks like a young Scotty Wind.
He does, doesn't he? That's better, isn't it?
About half the size.
Half the weight.
Talk about good hands there, boys. He took 5th in Springvale, so pretty good marks there.
Just Powell ran through it. You broke up a bit, Dipper, but 15 marks for Springvale in the first half. Cripps again. Kicks the full forward. Bassett. Hall did really well. Bassett just relaxed a touch. Bickley was very good down back to Edwards. Lovely kick. Johnson got it.
Got to applaud that type of play. Under pressure, finds the man coming up at him. Well read too.
Tell you what, Vardy, you look at the Guernseys front on, there's not that much difference between them. It's a bit confusing at times.
Vardy ran 80 metres to take that mark.
The kick to half forward. Hewitt was a target. McLeod tried to rove it, boundary throw in.
Gee, McLeod's getting to the fall of the ball with pace. There's Hudson. Oh, that's down low. I hope that's just a knock that'll work its way out. I hope it's not a tear.
He's missed 5 games this year, Hudson. He's, after playing a whole heap in a row, didn't miss one for about 3 years. He's had an ordinary old season. Clark belts it back. He's going to have to go here, Hudson. He does. Just gave it to Baker. Okay, Hamill working deep.
Well done.
This is Wolf, who had to play on Bradshaw last week. Kick not bad. Callaghan took it down low well. Terrific take by Goodwin. Goodwin squares to Smart. Now, Smart will use McLeod, surely. He does. McLeod's away. Interesting, he goes to Bassett. Bassett goes on. Hudson's off the ground, by the way. Back to Bassett. Bassett at 50. Not a bad kick to full forward. Terrific hand, Hewitt.
Gee, that was a good mark because that ball was coming in hard and low. Hewitt got front spot. He worked hard for front spot and the ball just stuck. And he's taken that mark only about 25 metres out from goal.
Looks like Riewoldt might have gone down back with Hudson off the ground.
Yeah, he would have just been called into it, so he might find himself up forward again.
Gee, that's a strong mark. The ex-Kangaroo.
Well, he's struggled this year. Played round 1 Rounds 5 and 6, the last two, mainly off the interchange. Has not been able to make a mark in Adelaide. Early goal here would be handy. They like it. He's got it.
No one really knows how good, or even for that case, how bad he is. I think the kid can play, but no one knows how good he is, where his ability lies. He just hasn't been given a long run, because where he was at, he was about 4th in line behind the Carey regime of big forwards at the Kangaroos, and Perry's solidified at the Crows in front of him and a couple of other big guys, so just needs an elongated run at it.
Hudson straight to the room, so Dipper will check up on that. Riewoldt back in the forward line. I think Swartz has gone down back by the look of it. So Blighty with a bit of work to do here. And again, that man Cripps, who's had a terrific opening term. Stevens, lovely mark. Gee, they're playing on at all costs here to Goodwin. A quick kick to centre half, or good hands. Gee, the Crows, they are sharp. Bickley on the burst from Vardy, sits it up.
Get it again.
Clark getting back. Well, he got in Hewitt's road and enabled Schwartz to get it to Everett. And then Everett's kick, poor. McLeod can't find it. Riewoldt pushes it forward. Baker. Cripps. Back it goes.
7th possession for Cripps.
Young's handball dreadful. Now Everett. Oh! Might find Kaczynski or the boundary line. Wobbly old bounce. Difficult. Kaczynski takes them on. And then goes across and kicks it magnificently. Oh,
kick.
well done.
And Begley on the dive took the mark. He's done that a couple of times, just switch play, Kaczynski. He's got an old head on young shoulders. Going very well.
8th possession for Cripps.
Well, that's a dream start, isn't it?
And this is the one he had trouble from earlier. He kicked into the man on the mark. Good luck. Get it right. Well done.
Kicks to centre wing. Stevens again fancied himself against Riewoldt. Kick forward by Powell to half forward Callaghan and also Shirley. No free kick. Hart couldn't quite get it. Hamill, good tackle, Hart.
Get it out.
Wraps him up. Goodwin did really well to get it to Johnson. And then Johnson on the left foot. Clark's the target. They've got him. He started well, Clark.
He's playing forward of the play, which is most unusual. He almost took that mark inside the forward 50 moments ago.
To Edwards, who's had a terrific opening term. Edwards goes wide. Perry to beat 2. Can't do it.
Well, Perry just had to bring that ball to ground with Big Spider dropping back. No good going for the mark from behind. He just had to try to bring it to ground.
Now, boys, he's in the rooms at the moment. It's more of a kick on the ankle, not a tear there. So we'll see him back on the field shortly, I think, boys.
That's such a thing as good news. Let's have a look at Maxi as he lands. Doesn't seem to be anything there from a twist, so let's hope it's just a contact one. It's not too bad and it comes good for the evening. Yeah, Spider actually, when the ball vacated the area, he didn't move. It came straight back to him. He didn't have to run then.
Hewitt pushes forward. Callahan's off. Ryan's come on and he's involved immediately. I think there's a free kick for hanging on for the to Hamill. So Hamill, Barry Hall one out. You'd fancy him here. Got him. Can't take the mark. Goodwin's been fantastic early. Good switch up to the room. Terrific play by Goodwin. And Rashudo on in a hurry to Stevens. Had a good quarter, hasn't he?
He's been good across half-back, playing on Riewoldt.
Crow's tackling's been impressive early. Now Perry, their target. Can't quite. Rashudo, who looks very, very solid tonight, bangs to Hewitt at full forward. Jarman's at the back. Gehrig belts it away. Kane Johnson, brilliant. A goal. They're in touch tonight. They've come to play a bit of footy.
Can't get any more front and centre than that, Wolsey.
No, it was a good long kick that was taken in by Rashudo. He looked at Jarman, who led to the pocket. He ignored the Jarman lead. And we'll see here Stevens. He gets the pass. He takes it a little bit easy there, Perry. And you're just terrific running by Rashudo. He looked at Jarman, bypasses him, goes long to the goal square. There's a contest there. Big punch by Gehrig to the front and perfectly rode there by Kane Johnson.
Crows by 18 points here. Saints got the first goal through Cripps. Clark doing well. Chance for Cripps again. Unbelievable opening term he's had. Kicks to centre half forward. Hamill, good fly, good mark.
It's the first mark the Saints have taken inside their forward 50. Adelaide's taken 4 in this first term, and they are just so valuable. It just means that the player can go back and take his time. Good leap there by Aaron Hamill. Got up so high he could take it on his chest in the end. Pretty important kick, this one, Dermot. He really needs to nail it.
He's not too bad from out this distance, about 5 to 10 metres closer. He tends to poke at him a bit. 19-13 for the year. That's your stats, Wolsey. Thanks for that.
He's kicked goals in 10 of the 14 matches, so he's been pretty consistent. Kicks from 50, going away. So a disappointing result. Inside 50s, 13 Crows, 7 Saints.
Got too many guns at the moment. There's too much ammunition on the ground for the Crows compared to the Saints at the moment.
They're good players. Have stood up early, the Crows, haven't they? Goodwin's one of them. Rashudo another.
He's playing on the ball and changing down back with Bickley.
Ben Hart, they had nowhere to go in the end, so they were forced to go really wide to Smart. Smart to take them on, so this is a sloppy play. Back to Hart, Hart to Smart. Boundary throw in.
Just, Dermot, what do you think about Smart playing on a wing? Like, I reckon it's a real luxury, and it makes life a bit too easy for Nigel Smart.
There's no doubt about that. We'll have a look at the tackles there. The Saints 3, they can't lay a glove on them at the moment. Adelaide 11. Yeah, but I do agree. I just think he probably cruises and slips himself when it suits him.
Thompson from the pocket was forced to kick in a hurry. It's close to the line. Bassett off him. Back to Bickley. He's been very good early. And then Bickley belts it outside the 50 to half back. Everett and Clark. Good umpiring. They're both hanging on to one another, and he let it go. Everett stitched up by 3 Crows, including Smart. Gee, Clark, well done. Haven't seen him get down that low all year. Kicks to centre wing. Johnson, complete brilliant play to Gallagher.
He's called it a throw.
Gee, the umpire called it a throw. I'd like to see it again. I don't know about that.
Yeah, he met it beautifully, didn't he? He read it quicker than his opponent. Oh, yes. Good call. Wolsey, you've been done.
Oh, I said I'd like to see it again.
All right, okay.
Don't worry, Wolsey, I called a brilliant play. I was really happy. Don't forget the internet site. There it is on the board, i7sport.com.au.
Stephen Baker off, boys, and Peckett on now for St Kilda.
Great duel, the two ruckmen. Been at it all quarter.
Clark and Everett. Cripps again. Can't get it away. McLeod back to Hart. Hart quickly kicks. Johnson and good mark against Young.
Cripps has had 10 possessions in the first quarter, Dermot. Terrific, isn't it, to come back after 3 years and do that?
I reckon he slipped under their guard, Wolsey. They thought we won't pay him much attention because he'll struggle to get the tempo.
Perry at the back. It'll sit, you'd think. He's in the pocket. He's kicked one from here already tonight. That one just across the face and bouncing in. Edwards, Rashuto and Goodwin have had 23 possessions between them.
And Mark Rashuto just gave the big fella a real burst for not passing it to him.
Everett, as you see, coming off, and Oliver playing his first game. Good luck, son. Leads for the ball, very confident.
Been doing all the ruck work with Springvale, so he's practiced. It's not as if he's a part-timer from the Magoos, from the twos coming up and part-timing in the seniors. He's been doing all the ruck work, so he's well rehearsed.
Begley from Jones. Good kick in by Jones. Kazitsky's been good, hasn't he?
Oh, he moves to the ball well, takes it at full stretch, and he's a good kick.
Gee, Powell on his own. They've got a chance here, the Saints.
He's going to try and draw a 50 here. He actually threw that up in the air himself, Robbie Powell. He wanted 50 from that. Barry's got a lead here.
So Hall's the target. Hart gets to the front. At the back, Bassett. Oh, too slow, the Crows. I think it was Gallagher.
Yep.
Voss is onto him. Ball comes out the back. Ryan's little handball. Comes back. Riewoldt floats it. The handball came from Oliver, and it's a behind.
Now, Wolsey, we know that Everett can kick goals. It's a strange for him being off the ground and having a rookie in the ruck, and instead of maybe putting Everett up forward.
Yeah, well, they could do that, particularly when they've only taken the 1 mark in the forward 50 to this stage of the game. But I think before the game, Malcolm would have planned that Everett come off at about the 22-minute mark and give the young kids 7 or 8 minutes.
Oliver had to go there against a couple. Wolf pulled off it by Stevens. Down to Gallagher. Gee, that should be 50 against Cripps.
Downfield.
Gave him a smack around the chops.
Oh, that's good. He's wanting to get into it, isn't he? Let's have a look. Yeah, just a push in the back and saying, here's one to earn.
Johnson's kicked to centre half forward. Smarter target. Vardy did brilliantly. Oh. This will be some sort of goal. It is.
The raw acceleration there from the standing start was phenomenal. And look, I'm a big rap for the kid he's playing against, Caden Beetham. him a big rap, but he's all creativity at the moment, and whether Blighty's actually just trying to teach Beetham something here, it's going to be costly, because this bloke is going to tear up the kick.
They're very good, the Crows, at taking the ball front and square.
Yeah, that's 2 pure front and squares this quarter.
Well, they've got a good lead here, Adelaide.
Yeah, and Brett Voss has been playing as a permanent half forward, only had 1 handball at this stage.
Goodwin again. So the Crows' good players are really shining here. Kazitsky against Perry. Perry second crack. A bit of a chance. Just misses. So
Just wondering how long you go with the, I suppose, the tuition of Peter Vardy being picked up by Caden Beetham, and how long Blighty goes with him.
The Crows have set up a zone defence. Now, it's the first time I've seen them do that, and I really like that. They've been going one-on-one all year.
did it in the second half last week, Wolsey. It was successful. They changed it at half-time. Interesting to see Blighty back to the play there in consultation.
Turned his back on the game.
Yep. In consultation, there he is.
Yeah, still is. He's just looking for another. I'm sure. I reckon he's got to be talking about Caden Beetham.
So the Saints to centre wing. Hart was at the back. Shirley just held up. He can't quite get it clear. Voss there, ball up.
Just saw another example of a Crows player being front and square. They run hard to the contest, and if there's a punch to the front, they are there in numbers. They do that really well.
So Malcolm still in consultation here.
And that looks like Robert Harvey, is it?
Yes, back left-hand corner.
So Clark, free kick. He just had to. I think Oliver wrapped him up a bit.
That's his 6th handball, Clark. He hasn't had a kick all night.
Goodwin's had plenty though, Wolsey. He goes wide. Clark doing really well, isn't he, in this opening term? Boundary throw in. What's Goodwin had? 8 kicks and 2 handballs. There's Rue. Rashudo's had 4 and 1. So Crows in attack. Clark, Oliver, so big task for Oliver. Edwards, who got the first 2 out of the centre square. Smart runs onto it. He's deep in the pocket. Terrible kick. Went nowhere. Play on, surely. Thompson got plenty of it. Ball comes out the back. Smart might get a goal. Gives it to Rashudo. Can't get a hook on it, really. Ball in the air. Still to be one. Punch through from behind.
Last time I saw a little dab kick go that high and that short a distance, I was watching Rugby Union. They used to call it the Gary Owen. There's Justin Murphy there. Best mates of Jason Cripps.
Gary Owen was a trotter.
Best mates of Jason Cripps, and he'd be very keen to see his mate do very well, which he is doing in this first quarter.
He'll be back here Sunday for a big game. The ultimate experience playing the Bombers. They're going all right, the Cats, aren't they?
Actually, they're travelling well the last 5 weeks.
Actually, it's the ultimate adventure, I reckon, playing there.
Yeah, don't call it the ultimate experience. You go to a fun park, a theme park for that. It's
Maxi's back on the bench there, boys. He's got a big smile on his face. He's just doing up his boots, so we could see him back on the ground.
Zone defence worked well for Adelaide then.
So Callaghan, Hudson and Everett on the interchange. McLeod at 50. Good looking kick. It's a chance. Oh, good mark. Taken by Hewitt. Well done.
Bruce,
play on.
The ruck work was exceptional. I hope we can see that. The ruck work of Clark at that boundary throw in. He flipped it over the back. McLeod knew what was going on. He ran onto it. Pretty tight angle there. But if you can end up kicking a goal, it is a well-orchestrated set-up goal.
And Peckett's picking up McLeod at the moment, and I don't know if those boundary throw-ins or bounce downs, whether he can guard him.
Left foot, he's missed it.
Yeah, that sneak goal he kicked earlier, that's that's Hewitt.
Let's have a look at this. And Matty Clark over the back, McLeod running into space. They made the space over the back. Terrific.
And they both took off, shoulder to shoulder. But by the time he hit the ball, McLeod, he had 1.5 meters on him.
If they can force Young to kick long, it's a victory to the Crows, which they've done.
Clark in the box seat here. Kazitsky against him. Good hands on the up. Wolf getting it over. Here's Peckett. Haven't seen much of him. Centering kick. There's a wobbly floater one. Not a good one forward. Hall. Bassett's had the best of the duel early. Well done, Hall. Powell's had 3 shots for goal. I like it in the run. It's a chance. It's home. It's a goal.
Well, the kick was scrubby going in, but it actually was out in front of Barry Hall. Let him run onto it. So if you're going to make an error, make it to the player's advantage. See, there it is. Barry Hall wanted that lace out in the air.
2 Crows go for Barry too.
Yep.
Frees up Powell. On his left foot, he puts it through. Gary Ayres would not be very happy with only less than a minute on the clock.
It's one of the criticisms of Bickley. I mean, the bravest player you've ever seen. Terrific back pocket. played a lot in the midfield, chases the footy a bit.
Ball hunters.
Just needs to zone off. Just needs to realise, I'll leave my teammate contest with Barry. I'll cover Powell just in case.
Just sit off him, sweat on him.
Gee, big goal for the Saints, isn't it? Just it keeps them in some sort of touch at quarter time. 2-5 now. Cripps' early goal, Powell's late one. Johnson's been pretty good. Edwards terrific. There's Bickley forward. Well, maybe a late goal here. Perry has been very good. So's Kaczynski. It's been a pivotal duel, hasn't it?
Seriously good pair of hands, Big Perry.
Yeah, once he gets in front, he just doesn't miss too many. And young Kaczynski, the size will worry him because he's a tall, skinny fella, and Perry would be much heavier than him.
191 centimetres, listed at 95, and I reckon he just at a pinch is a bit bigger than that.
This is not his strength. Let's see if he can kick a second goal. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's very, very good.
Well, honours go to him for the first quarter on that goal.
He had 4 shots for goal in the opening term, Perry. 4 shots for goal, kept 2.
Definitely. I seriously rate him. I think he can play. As I say, all summer long, Wolsey, you'd want to be working on that kicking skill.
Well, I think it's only his 6th game this year, 6th senior game, and he's had 6 kicks in the first term, a couple of marks and a couple of goals.
Gee, plenty to talk about at quarter time, isn't there? You're watching the big match tonight on the Big Sports Network.
7 Sport. Watch out. The AFL Premier
Footy in 3 years, and he had 8 kicks and 2 handballs in that opening term. It was a one heck of a comeback, wasn't it, to senior ranks?
Just a wonderful story. I mean, he's a real hard-working fella, and there you go. He was on the in the channel, running straight at the goals, under pressure from both sides though, and threaded it.
Kept getting it. He had one little mistake down back that they got away with in the end, but a terrific opening. So that's Cripps. Thompson injured off the ground, was treated at quarter time.
Yes, and they spent plenty of time looking at him. Might be something to do with his shoulder. Stenglein playing at centre-half back on Aaron Hamill. That's unusual, Bruce. I know he does do tagging jobs.
Had him the first quarter, most of the first quarter.
So probably they just can't find the right matchup for him tonight as McLeod kicks to half forward. Perry, who must be full of confidence. Edwards, Johnson, good tackle, Cripps. Rode him down, and it'll be a ball up.
He's playing like it's his last game, Jason Cripps. Not his first for 3 years, and why wouldn't you? Well, he was against Goodwin, and Goodwin was changing with Bickley, so he got plenty of it, so they didn't pay him much attention. There he goes, stands out next to Goodwin on the bounce down, Jason Cripps.
Darren Jarman still near the goal square. Didn't get a touch in the first quarter. Gehrig, his opponent.
Thompson on the bench here, boys. It looks okay.
Ozzie Jones, the other player, Dermot and Wolsey, who didn't get a touch in that opening term, key player.
Well, he's minding McLeod, and as I say, Rashudo's changing forward with McLeod. And so, as you called, Wolsey, if it comes to a one-on-one, Rashudo's pretty handy overhead too. Just left-hand side of this bounce down, Rashudo and Jones.
Thanks for that, Dipper. We just saw Thompson back there. So McLeod was over the back. Goodwin gets it out to Rashudo. Rashudo's kick not bad to the goal square. Oh, Gehrig, that's not good play. Jarman's got a touch now. He's got a goal now.
And again, we saw Crows players front and square of the contest. Gehrig was caught in 2 minds, Dermot. Didn't know whether to go or not. In the end, he did. Sort of half-heartedly. Jarman stayed down. We see the kick by Rashudo. It's a good kick to a dangerous spot. Gehrig is indecisive, and his opponent Jarman stayed down, took the crumb, kicked the goal.
One thing I say about the bounce down at half forward, as I call, Rashudo was on the goal side of the bounce down with his back to his own goals. He pushed Ozzie Jones away, ran through the bounce and gathered it on the other side. So he went through traffic knowing that Ozzie Jones doesn't have the frame to go through the heavy traffic as well. Thompson getting set to come back on.
Well, this is a blowout early, 5 goals in it. Adelaide freewheeling like they've rarely done this year. They've got very modest statistics up forward this year. Ranked below the Saints in offence going into this match, but they've kicked 7 early goals.
And they've done it pretty well. They've just been very direct. They've got the ball quick into their forward 50. They've taken strong marks inside the forward 50 area, and they've crumbed particularly well.
So the Saints need to lift, and lift in a hurry. Clark winning the taps. Powell and Johnson ran into each other. Bickley took a couple on a bit too easily in the end and got away. Searching kick to centre-half forward. Jones, Rashudo, running hard, Vardy, out of the air. Hudson held on to, I felt. He'll get a free kick. Hewitt just had a handful of jumper.
Vardy looked dangerous once again, streaming forward.
And Dipper, it looks like Thompson coming back on.
Yeah, he's got the couple pills there in the way he is, and wishing him best of luck with that shoulder there.
Kazitsky. So Perry's had a lot of it, but Kazitsky also touched the footy a fair few times. Talking about touching it, here's Cripps again. Comes wide, bit of danger here. McLeod will fancy it. Didn't quite get it. Thompson may use Hudson. Decides to go down to centre half forward. Hamill, good mark.
Terrific mark. He'll look for Barry.
And he does. And he's got him. And he didn't take it. Second effort reasonable. Bassett just struggled to get hold of it. Bassett. And then forces it to the line.
I reckon Barry's hands aren't that good tonight. And you might find that Wolsey, next time, Blighty might decide to rest. Like, he should have gloved that one cleanly. He might rest Spider Everett up there. He'll probably look for a different matchup if Barry doesn't cleanly glove the next one.
Both ruckman worked underneath. The Cripps again to Hamill, to Powell, who was busy early. Sits it up to centre half forward. Clark's the target, really, to McLeod. Span away beautifully to Goodwin, to Edwards. Those top-class Adelaide players are cutting them up. Gallagher gets it from Stevens. He's a beautiful kick. It hit Jman lace out, and he does.
Gee, that is a good kick. That is a beautiful foot pass there from young James Gallagher. Hasn't had much footy at the senior level either, James Gallagher. Playing his 4th game tonight.
First game was here against the Bombers.
Yep.
What an initiation.
Gee, terrific pass. That's the 8th mark inside the forward 50. Saints have only taken 1 in that area. And as you can see, the player goes back, settles himself down, should kick a goal.
Do we pencil this one in?
Well, he can miss them.
Not often.
Not often at all. It's a goal.
They don't come much better by foot.
You were teasing us, weren't you, Dermy? You opened the door for me. Changed Riewoldt off and Callaghan back on, so a tool for a short up forward.
And you just see Jarman push off his opponent, Gehrig. Just gave him enough yardage to get in front and take that mark. And Gehrig really should have been a bit stronger on the hole.
Yep.
He got away from him far too easily.
You've got to claw them and actually grab a bit of jumper there, don't you?
Yep.
As much as you can get away with. Riewoldt off the ground.
He's just a skinny boy, isn't he? But, gee, he's got a good frame to build on. Saints have put Barry Hall to centre half forward. Aaron Hamill back in the goal square.
Stingline there. You'd reckon Hamill, he's outmarked him a couple of times. If they can get it in a hurry, it's probably not Stingline's strength. Cripps again to Wolf. Wolf wide. Good kick to Hall. In front. Bad bounce. Bassett's come out with him. Hart overran it. Voss, Hart wraps him up. That's a good matchup for the Crows, I reckon. Hart against Voss. McLeod getting really busy, but cut off. He's #1 in short kicks, McLeod, this year, but he has coughed a few up. Wolf goes back to half forward. Hall in the front spot. Callaghan back on the field. Pushes forward. Hamill, Stengline. Hamill back to Powell. Hard ball. And Hart just dribbles it over the line.
Jason Cripps, 13 possessions. We've just 5 or 6 minutes into the second quarter. Maybe Jason Cripps remembers football when the Saints were a really good side. It was 3 years ago that he played, so he's used to playing in good sides.
Yep, chasing it around. Watching the ball, not the opponent all the time.
Clark. And again, a ball up. So tackles, we saw a moment ago, heavily in the Crows' favour. Had a virus, McLeod, the week before last, so he's been just a bit flat, but he's working into the game.
Yeah, Cripps is against Goodwin and Bickley, and they've had a combined total of 19 possessions between the two of them. Not of all of them been on the ball, though.
Powell's hurry kick.
Clark's had 8 handballs, Bruce. No kicks, 8 handballs, the big fella in the ruck.
Well, he's done really well. Bickley wide. Stevens.
How long will they let Clark ruck for before they bring Marsh on?
He can go a long time, though. Marsh rucked the whole of the last term last week, and he's a pretty good backup. Gallagher gets it from Hart, loves to run Gallagher, normally delivers. That one into the centre, Stengline, so Hamill's pushed him back into the centre for the moment. Bickley held up, ball up. Hamill working into the centre for the moment. He was in the goal square 3 minutes ago.
Big Barry's dropped back to the goal square for the Saints.
Now look at down the... Oh, there you go. The struggling Saints average through the past 14 games versus the Crows, 70 points. Not good.
So Clark and Everett.
Fair bit of body work before the ball comes down, isn't there?
Gee, Bickley's strong, but Hamill was terrific. Tries to fend off, not quite within range. Good kick, though. It'll be a goal. That's terrific play by Hamill. That's like the last man standing at the OK Corral, wasn't it? He just took them all on.
Well, you called him in the middle of the ground, Bruce, and at that ruck contest, he was the one who came charging through. Good contest there with the big fellas, and we'll see Hamill just breaks away, gets past McLeod, backs himself, runs his full measure. Barry Hall led, and he realised the goal square was vacant, so he went long with the kick and it bounced through.
Those types of blokes who aren't natural ball readers at the bounce downs, they've got to actually get a bit of momentum up right from the word go, and if the ball gets into their path, they take a power of stopping if they've got it running goalward. That's looking from the Adelaide goals up to the centre. Andy McLeod has taken Aussie Jones to the goal square. They're all in a straight line up the spine of the ground there.
So Aussie still without a possession. They'd love some of his run-off half-back, wouldn't they? Bickley's handball. OK, Gallagher just a bit quick with it to Rashudo. Rashudo wide to Shirley. Little give was OK to Stengline. Stengline out very wide. Perry's the target. His hands are sticky, aren't they?
He's on top of the kid now.
To Hart. Hart kicked to half forward. Hewitt attacked it well. Vardy. Thompson onto him. Vardy into the pocket. McLeod and Jones. Boundary throw in. There's a bit of skill there, McLeod and Jones.
Yes, I don't know if Aussie would be too happy being right back there on that last line of defence, though, and there's no doubt that Gary Ayres is trying to exploit him and expose him by having him back there.
The one with the bald head, though, has got a fair bit of power on his side, too.
Now, here's the free kick to Everett, is it?
Oh, it's paid to Shepherd.
The advantage given, so Young takes advantage and then kicks to half forward to Hall. Good mark.
He needed that clean hand. Grab that one.
He'll look for Hamill.
Bassett happy to take him on physically there, wasn't he? Back to Young. Young, good kick normally, got Hamill.
That's a worry. That's a worry for Gary Ayres because Stengline just hasn't got the strength to go with Hamill on the lead. And good play there. They are alternating Hamill and Hall.
Stengline probably right for Hamill if Hamill plays as a half-forward midfielder. Yep. Not right for him as a key forward.
He's a big kid, Stengline, isn't he? But he's not a key backman.
Good coaching by Malcolm Blight. He's seen that in the first quarter and he said, we can take advantage of this situation. Let's push Big Barry up across half-forward and get Aaron Hamill back.
So Hamill from the pocket, half-forward, coming back, it's a goal. He's kicked 2 in 2 minutes. And the Saints close it up a bit. Who is the... I mean, if Stengline can't go with him, what's the alternative?
Oh, smart. Yeah, that's what you don't want to take away from their key setup at the moment. Maybe even Harty could go with him. He'd be smart enough. Whether he could match him in the body on body. No, he'd do all right. Either of those two.
And have a look at the skinny arms on Stengline to the stronger body of Aaron Hamill and chest of Hamill. I reckon Smart would be the one who could go back there.
You'd like to give Smarty a job too, wouldn't you?
I want to give him some real responsibility.
Rashudo. Saints have steadied here. Wolves kick to centre half forward. Good mark, Cripps. It is a fairy tale coming through for this youngster. The handball just put him under the gun. Edwards' hands were good. Rashudo wide to Hart. Crows haven't been able to finish any team off this year. Saints would know that. Perry, well done. Johnson, terrific kick to McLeod. Jones at the back. Well read, though, by Begley. Begley has to go back to Gehrig. Gehrig, he's in trouble. Oh, he got out of it. Well done. Back to Wolf. Still with Wolf. Gee, they're taking their time and finds Cripps.
It's not good footy.
Now, Wolsey, we've got Ben Marsh down here warming up, so it could be time for the Crows ruckman to come off.
I think so. I reckon Clark's done enough. Give him a spell.
Barry starting to catch him too.
Yep.
Hall's kick to the pocket. No free kick. Rashudo wide. Gallagher kept it in. Down the line. Good kick again. Found Johnson.
And this is where Perry's dangerous. He's just too strong in the air for young Kazitsky.
He's just down the line, pointing up to the sky, saying, put it out there and let me run at it.
That's exactly what happened.
He pointed to the zone he wanted it, and that's a soft 50, but the way they adjudicate in this day and age, it's more of a chance to be pinged and called than not.
We spoke about young Kosicki, number 24. He's starting to get a little bit frustrated because Big Perry's been able to take 5 or 6 marks out in front of him. And again, look, he's only an 18-year-old. He's been terrific this year, but size, he'll just start to go downhill a little bit from this time on. They usually get to about 14 or 15 games in, the young kids in their first year, then they trail off.
He's taken 4 grabs, Kosicki, and Perry's taken 5 on the lead.
Going for a third goal. I think he might have missed it.
Yeah. Thing is with Kosicki's marking in the back half, he's floated across an existing pack, whereas Perry's been under pressure on the lead. So really 5 shots on goal in a quarter and a half. He's got the honours, Perry.
Jones to Ryan.
He's a good man to have kicking in, Aussie Jones. He hits targets really well.
Do you feel as if the game's on at the moment? I do.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Saints have had the best of it the last 10 minutes.
Here's Kosicki, 5th mark tonight. So whilst Perry is playing a big game for the Crows, Kosicki continues to present and get it. That kick not so good. Hart did well, but didn't take the mark. So Hart might be on Hamill.
Yeah, he looks like he went with him.
They made that move while the ball was up the other end of the ground. And again, they had to do something because Stenglein just didn't have the body strength to go with Aaron Hamill.
So Hart in short to Vardy. Can't mark it, but Wolf can. That's a good second grab. Play on. And Wolf does play on. One bounce, Barry Hall the target. Pops it up to Big Bazza. Will it get there? Good mark in the front, Shirley. He's got a lot of guts. Bickley out wide. Vardy. And then Edwards puts the tackle on.
And Dipper, the ruck change, it's just occurred.
Yeah, Clark's off now and Marsh is on. That's Adelaide's first interchange move tonight, where I think St Kilda's done about 9 already. So
halfway through this second quarter, it's a good time to spell the ruckman because he can stay on the bench till half-time, then have his 18-minute break then, so it just gives him a good half-hour break at least.
He's sucking it in too, isn't he? He really was...
The big Doc Clark, they called him Doc up in Brisbane. He was doing a vet course. I think he's been doing it for 25 years.
Talk about doing a course.
Anger management.
It was Everett and Marsh. There was a bit of confusion. Wolf doing all right.
He's done all right, hasn't he?
To Voss. Voss wide to Begley. Next goal important here. The Saints have kicked the last couple. Kicked to centre half forward. Hamill went early. Bickley roving at the back. Stevens, he put him under the pump. Shirley, Gallagher, well done. Comes
well
wide,
done,
terrific spot up to Stenglein. Hewitt goes for him.
Not confident to grab it in the hands, but he's got the footy in the mitts.
The kick to Vardy. I think it was for Vardy. Smart just probably got in the road. Begley back, Handball misses the target. Vardy caught, Handball was strong to Edwards. Left foot, goal. What a goal. Brilliant, Vardy.
Beautiful strike. He struck that sweetly off the boot. And Vardy composed in the tackle as well. Knew that if it just handball, so I don't get pinged for holding the ball here, it's anybody's again. But he just composed himself and finds the target. Watch this steal. And watch him. Where's a target? As I'm falling down and hits it. And that's a beautiful strike.
And Wolsey, you said tonight the Adelaide Crows are crumbing perfectly, and that's exactly what they've been doing, and Vardy showed that there.
Marsh did pretty well. Baker held up. Back to the Speak Spider. He's had no influence. Edwards having a wonderful match out wide. Gallagher's fitted in this team really well. Kicks to the half forward. Jarman's got it. Well, suddenly the game's turned again, hasn't it?
Well, what actually has happened is that Perry's so dominant at centre-half forward against Kosicki, Gehrig's had to go to him, which means this man on screen has been freed up from Fraser Gehrig, Max Hudson, who's still just come back on the ground at quarter time after that ankle injury, just finding his feet. Just takes a little while to sum up a clever opponent like Jman.
Jman didn't have a kick in the first quarter. Now he's lining up his third.
And kicks it. 3 for Jman. He did kick 5 in the second quarter against Collingwood.
Well, time.
He's a wonderful player, and that's why even when Darren Jarman goes kickless for a quarter, you keep him on because he's capable of doing what we've just seen. 3 goals in, what, 17 minutes of football.
Runs out of steam after half-time. He's going to kick it back. Most of them are going to go before half-time. But now that he's got Maxie Hudson, who's an honest player, hasn't got the sights on him yet, he'll kick a few more. Nathan Burke next to Rob Harvey there, and Damien Monkhurst, ex-premiership player with Collingwood, on the right-hand side of screen.
Gee, I like Tyson Edwards' game. I just think I just checked, he's played 118 games. I think he's getting better.
Just 24 years of age. Gallagher
This kid's playing a good game.
kicks to centre half forward. Vardy got a touch on it. Perry works it forward. Little give was good to Hewitt. Loved to impose himself on the match. Lovely kick to Marsh.
And good play by the big fella Marsh. He's the one who came on to replace Matthew Clark in the ruck. After that centre bounce, he saw the ball go forward. He ran straight down the corridor. And it was good to see that when the Crows got the football at half forward, they didn't panic and bomb it to the square, lifted their eyes, saw the big fella streaming down the middle of the ground, and they were able to hit him.
Peck it on for Baker.
Same time as the first quarter, that change.
So Marsh from about 48. I think he's dragged it.
Got some purchase on it, didn't he?
Matthew Young going down to do the kicking in. He kicked in for most of that first quarter. And again, the Crows have set up a zone defence. They'll try to force Young to kick the ball long, and then if they can do that, they'll then try to get a punch back, the Crows.
Protecting the spine, and that's where he wants to kick it.
Perry front spot defended really well. McLeod rides them all 50 metres out. Terrific looking kick. It's a goal. It is a magnificent goal.
Well, the Vardy goal in the first quarter on the burst, and that one, they're two of the just as good a goals as you'll see, Walsey.
But that's the value of the zone defence. You force the opposition, they've got no space, so you force the fullback to kick it long, and then you work to get a punch back, and Big Perry did that. They've got the numbers there, and when this fella's around, they then get a goal. Now, that's something that I'm sure Gary Ayres will show his players through the week and say, hey, you did it really well. You set up the zone, you forced the long kick, you punched it back, we crumbed well, we kicked the goal. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
So the Crows roll away again here, 11 goals to 4. Thompson through the centre, runs hard, kicks to the pocket, lovely kick. Hall's got it. Gee, his hands have got sticky, haven't they?
Yeah, all of a sudden his hands have got good since about the 5-10 minute mark of this quarter. Spider Everett coming off the ground, exposed by Marsh, that second last attempt on goal by the Crows. He's tired.
The temptation would be to keep the big Spider on, though.
Yeah.
And well done on the left foot by Andrew Thompson to hit Barry on the lead.
His hands have come good all of a sudden after grassing a couple early.
Hasn't kicked a goal. He's kicked 25 this year. Remember, he was down back early. So in the 8 games he's gone forward, he's kicked 25 goals. It's a pretty good return. But Adelaide have had 50 more possessions so far, and we're not even up to half-time.
Never kicked the complete bag either, and should.
From the pocket, he hit it sweetly. So Barry's on the mark.
Now, when you say he's averaged that sort of 4, just a fraction over for his games up forward, he's never had like a game of no goals. It's always a 3, a 4, maybe a 5. He's never had an 8 or 9 goal game.
He's got 5 twice this year.
Yeah. I suppose, having said that, the Saints really haven't brought it in all that well for conducive for a forward to kick an absolute bag.
Saints 5-4, Crows 11-8. Hall with his first goal. There's Oliver the kid.
Umpires not giving many free kicks in this first half either. Only been 7 paid for the first half.
So the number 2 ruckman are at it. Marsh and Oliver. Marsh did well to McLeod. Well played to Edwards. Could go all the way here. Ran a fair way. And then, a big old kick that doesn't make it. Hudson. Crows will be disappointed with that. Jones, first field kick tonight, and it's a beauty. Oh, bad play. Begley, Thompson.
That poor kick in forward, that Jman was ignored on the lead and Hudson went back. That'll work for Jman next time. Hudson won't follow him out.
Begley's kick. Hart fancied himself at the back and held up.
He did really well there, Ben Hart. He left his opponent, Hamill, realised that he had to make a contest over the top. I think it was Voss, and sacrificed his own position play. That was good to see.
They're married to sisters, you know, Jman and Edwards. There might be some trouble in the family after that. He's had a big quarter, Jman, and Edwards has had a big match. Voss can't get clear and another ball up.
Struggling to get into the game, Brett Voss. Only had one kick and one handball. But Malcolm Blight shown faith in him. He's kept him out there for the entire first half.
There's despite a big difference in the average age of the two teams. Adelaide are playing 4 men tonight who have played over 200 games. Edwards again, had to hurry it. Perry fancies his chances, attacks it. Ball sits up, Hamill. Probably could have taken it. Vardy, high tackle, free kick. They're not dissimilar at times, Vardy and Hamill, are they?
Strong bodies.
Attack it similarly, don't they?
Just, yeah, one's a flanker and one's a pinch key position type player.
Gee, the Saints have flooded back.
Gallagher's a little handball to Perry. Perry misses a target to Young. Here's Hamill and Vardy. Good take, Hamill in the front. Under pressure. Edwards, the advantage.
Oh, they're having a dust-up there too.
Comes back.
Not too seriously, Bruce.
The Saints have got 17 players in their defensive half. Big Barry's the only player in the forward line.
24-minute mark. You don't want any more goals kicked against you.
And that's why the Crows will go sideways with the footy. They've got numbers in front of them. Here's a long kick in now.
Shirley's kick to half forward, but Gehrig slipped in the front of Hewitt and took the mark. Jones to run off.
Goes to Barry.
Shirley, well done. He's got a lot of courage, Shirley. He's got Hart on here, and he's going to find him. Hart's almost up to half forward. Goes down the line to Hewitt. Hewitt versus Kosicki. Hewitt can't take the mark. Kosicki brought it to the ground. And then Oliver, Crows over the top. Ball up.
Got 2 hands on it, Hewitt.
Last time I'll say this tonight. I reckon when players look up in a hurry, it's hard to distinguish between the Guernseys giving a handball off. I saw that with Hamill a moment ago. So the Crows by 40 points.
26 players inside this 50.
Jones working into the game.
Some traffic in there. There's nowhere to go.
Hudson wants the line.
Well done.
Well, he got what he wanted.
Just a reminder about our internet site, i7sport.com.au. You'll get all the results of tonight's match. Goal kickers, best players, injuries, any reports.
There you go, Wolsey.
Yeah, Brett Voss off. Yeah, he's just struggled to get into it. And Riewoldt coming on.
Look at Smart sneak around the front of the pack there. No man on him.
Marsh to Rashudo.
You want to see Smarty at the top of the pack there. He'll do that again. And if they get the first hands on, that man, Nigel Smart, he's clever. He might just get in the right spot for one here.
Marsh, Hamill. Gee, that was a little throw. To Ryan. Under pressure. Got it back to Wolf. Terrible bounce. Powell. Well done to Hamill. Probably has to go long. He looks for Hall, one out. Bassett, good job. Stenglein in the front. Over the line. As Voss, 50th game. 15th for the Saints. Geez, brothers in a rich vein of form at the moment. If Voss and Buckley rub shoulders together at the MCG Sunday, it'll be exciting, won't it?
I'll tell you what, Vossy, and you know that they do give him votes in the Brownlow. He'd be right up there.
Getting the ball up.
I think the Saints would be happy to play at a stalemate from here to half-time, which should be any tick of the clock now.
And that man on screen, Tyson Edwards, what a first half he's played. He's had 15 possessions, he's had 5 tackles, 3 centre bounce clearances, and 5 times he's put the ball inside the forward 50. He is playing extremely well.
So against Marsh for backing back into Oliver.
Signalled a little bit high, Bruce. Backed into him and the arm was raised and it got Oliver over the shoulder.
Oliver out wide.
That was his first kick in league football.
Found a target in Thompson. Wants Hall. Well done, Bassett. Callaghan, good kick. Terrific kick. Goal.
Well, they're the ones that irk coaches. When the opposition kick a goal with 1 minute or inside the last 2 minutes of any quarter. Well done by Callaghan, front and centre.
Do you know he's kicked a goal in every match he's played this year, Callaghan?
I think he's been terrific for them. He's kicked 20 goals in 10 matches. He missed a lot of games through injury. He came from the Dockers, of course. I think he's basically a forward pocket specialist. They'd love to get him up in the midfield, getting plenty of balls there. But, gee, I like the way he goes about his footy.
Just doesn't have enough penetration by foot around the ground, almost. And maybe the wind tanks are worried. Nigel Smart having an elongated
Yeah, Dermot
Half-time break.
and James Burners replaced him. First run for the night.
So Marshall will be disappointed. It was his free kick that led to the goal. Oliver doing well with the kick to Thompson. Rashudo out of the centre. The Crows have won it out of the centre continuously. McLeod didn't take it. Jones back to Garrick. Takes them on. Back to Aussie. Aussie at half-back. Found his target. Well done. Kazitsky, who started this game very well, and then Perry stitched him up. Kazitsky short to Young. Oh, over the back, they've missed it. Edwards a chance. Can he find a target? Can't quite. Almost now. Vardy wanted it. Perry got in the road, I reckon. Ryan, Vardy back. Rashudo can get some purchase, or doesn't. McLeod, a chance. Left foot.
Oh, misses. Well, it needed someone with exceptional skill there to pull that out of the mine. There was a few errors in there.
So 11-9 to 6-4.
Now, you have a look at this zone. If you drew a line from... Well, see, the whole zone is basically in view now. There's hardly anybody out of view in the zone, so they're protecting the corridor.
Oh, Jman got a finger on it. Young under pressure. Finds Beetham. Hardly been sighted tonight. Good kick down the line. Kazitsky's run forward on Perry. Wants to use Riewoldt. So the number 2 draft pick to the number 1. And then Riewoldt's kick not bad to Barry. Big Barry Hall can't quite. Shirley again courageously came across the front, ball up.
Good to see the two kids sharing, and there they are in the centre of the ground going to tap each other on the back. Gee, this was risky, Dermot. Aussie's kick touched by Jman. That was within 2 or 3 centimetres of going back over Aussie's head for a goal.
So, such a tight zone for the spine. That's where they're protecting. It's almost like saying, if you take us on here, we're going to pick it off.
Last chance for a goal, you'd reckon, for the Saints. If they get one here, they would have squared up the quarter just about. Not a bad result after Adelaide threatened to blow them completely away here. And again, a ball up.
Rashudo's played pretty well in this first half. 14 possessions. He just looks like he's getting back to his old self.
McLeod's gone one-handed it a few times tonight, and on the turn, he's sort of got the one mitt on it, and then with his speed has turned and just lost the ball out of his grasp.
So it is half-time. It was a high-scoring opening term. The Saints were accurate in that quarter. They did lose a few points. It's a 35-point margin after they trailed by 26 at quarter time. So that's the situation. Terrific half for Jason Cripps. Adelaide have looked good. Stewie Lowe's going to join us at half-time. We'll have a look at the match as well with Dermot and Woolsey. It's 40 to 75.
They're too good.
Actually, it's too good, that's right. Plenty of confidence down there, but all they have to do really is control that middle, because really in that first half, the Crows have taken control of that section there. And Dermot, you mentioned the Barry Hall, a couple of times just dropped marks and could have had some easy shots at goal. So look, what, 35 points of difference, they're not too far out of this game.
Yeah, they definitely need a bit of supply out of the middle. Need to shore that one up. They've been, well, I suppose doubled in centre bounce takeaways. Look, if they get that back to a break even at least, well, they're certainly not going to slide any from here.
So Rotherham without a run so far. Ben Marsh with him, so Clark back on.
And Bruce, the Saints down deep in their forward line. They've got young Riewoldt in the goal square and Oliver alongside him. So 2 first gamers.
Spider's the key though, isn't he? I mean, he needs to lift.
He needs to lift. He was out-rucked by Matthew Clark in that first half, and we saw the centre breaks 10-5 in the Crows' favour.
So off we go. Everett will be determined, you'd reckon, to try and make a mark here. Clark again. Handball out wide for Smart was well done. Smart back inside, then goes wide. He had Rue inside and he went to Gallagher wider. Vardy pushed underneath it cleverly by Beetham, goes to ground, handball out. Okay, Cripps again. Back to Thompson. Went from the ground at quarter time. Slow kick, Smart fancied himself. Begley took a beauty in the front spot. Comes back inboard to Cripps again. To Gehrig up the field a bit. Jones in trouble. The ball comes out the back to Thompson. Go short. Gee, a lot of possessions here, weren't they?
And they've held it in the zone. It's going nowhere fast.
I think it's Cripps' third possession, and we haven't played a minute of football in the third term.
He's going to sleep well tonight, Wolsey, isn't he?
Oh, it's terrific to see.
You get it again here.
And just the buzz around the ground during the half-time break, everybody was just delighted that the young fella was playing so well.
Barry Hall's got to lead here.
So Stevens with Hall. Not sure if that's the matchup or whether they just got each other. Gallagher couldn't find it. Hall.
Well done.
They put the tackle on. Wolf. Back to Wolf. Left foot. Callaghan front spot. Good mark by Shirley.
Just wasn't clean with his hands there.
Stink line, I should say.
Sorry, Rush, just wasn't clean with his hands, and it forced him to fumble and get a hurried kick instead of clean hands and a calculated kick. Would have been
Gallagher
better.
to Stevens. Just not good play by Stevens. Hamill had it for a fair while. Well done that time, Stevens. A little give okay to Goodwin. Goodwin squeezes a left footer. The race is on. Johnson first. That's a handball for sure. Edwards back to Johnson, back to Rashudo. Arrogantly gets rid of his man. Clark to Shirley to Jarman. Got him.
He'll play on here. Oh, he wanted to.
He really wanted to. You were dead. He really wanted to.
Well, he'll know the distance here will tempt him. He's pointing to the goals as if he's going to have a go. That's the double vision here. Sees it early.
And just Maxie Hodgson, just no body pressure on him.
He hasn't really got it, Jarman, but it's going to go through for a behind. Shirley's kick, that was a good kick from Shirley because that's been one of his weaknesses. He really hit that well to Jarman.
Once again, if there's going to be an error on the kick, it was going to be to the leading player's advantage. Put it well out in front.
Young to Beetham. So it's a 6-goal game here. Beetham's kick. Cripps just couldn't quite find it. It was a floater in the end. Crows tap it back, Gallagher, but only as far as Ryan, who... it was awkward the way he dropped it onto his boot, wasn't it?
He's not all that good on the left foot, Damien Wright. In the end, it was almost a drop kick.
Gee, the Saints, what can they do here? So much optimism at the start of this season. You would think right now they're about as low as they've been all year, aren't they? Johnson, they've played 39 players, including the couple tonight.
Just think to get back in the game, Spider has to lift his efforts in the ruck contest. He's been out-rucked by Clark, and then at ground level, players like Cripps and Thompson need to be very quick to get it forward to give Hamill and Hall a chance one out. If they don't do that, they've got no hope.
3 men in their goal square, 3 forwards in their attacking goal square, the Saints.
Cripps again, well done.
Now quick
to Thompson, centering kick, Hall and Stevens. Hall got there first. Stevens rode him under. He's a bit stiff, Barry. Bickley to Hart.
Should have been a free kick to Hall.
Hart, Jarman the go-to man at the moment. Front spot, he's got it. That's a terrific mark.
And that's how the game can really hurt you, because I think Barry Hall did everything right. He got in front, he was in the forward 50, he got taken from behind, and then it swings down the other end of the ground. And again, Maxie Hodgson just giving up front position on Jarman.
Jarman would never have done that to Gehrig, would he?
I was just thinking that, but you know what Max did wrong? He locked arms and got the underside of the locking of the arms, which took away his jump. Jarman was always the one who was going to jump a little bit higher just to take the pace off the ball. Second grab secure.
This is his range. He might have pushed it, so he's missed a couple. 3-2 to Jarman. So he hasn't buried them here, and he could have. He could have really put it away here. Peckett, Voss, Baker, Schwarz. So the top 3, you'd reckon, would be disappointed they're sitting it out. Young's kick to centre-half back. Kaczynski was a target. Thompson, Edwards. Just doesn't get a clean handball away. Taken by Begley, touches it, runs hard. Terrible looking kick off the boot to half forward. Bassett, well done. To Hart, Bassett. Off the ground, clever. McLeod kept his balance to Hart. Crows building. Hart short to his captain in Rashudo. He's got Johnson really wide. Goes the other side. 3 men up here. Smart. Will he take Begley on? No. Decides to go down the line. Not a great kick, but it's out in front of Hewitt. Goes backwards to Edwards. Will-o'-the-wisp Edwards. 65 metres out. Centering kick. And Stevens the target, and Stevens the mark.
They set that goal up pretty well. They didn't panic. They took the ball via the cape, the Crows, but in the end, they just kept on putting it out in front of a teammate.
They are the most inaccurate team in the league in front of goal, the Crows. The only team this year that has kicked more behinds than goals. They've had some dreadful nights, 8-16, 12-19, 14-19. They need this goal.
Well, this bloke's no artist.
Well, they've missed a couple through Jman.
He's
He
done
may
all
not
right.
be an artist, but he did deliver, Dermy. Looked like Kane Johnson cheering in the crowd there. 12-11 to 6-4.
He's happy. Got on TV.
It's had a fair match, Mark Stevens.
Yep.
Caden Beethan, number 21 for St Kilda, is just trailing his opponents. Malcolm's playing him in the back line to teach him a bit about football. He's got to realise you've got to play tighter than that.
So Stevens playing on Barry Hall gets the opening goal of the second half.
Floated down, and well, Barry did well on that last free kick, which didn't go his way. He didn't argue with the umpire, got on with it.
You'd love the umpire to recall that bounce, wouldn't you? Clark got it to Rashudo to fall forward, front and square. It eluded McLeod. You'd back him from here. Goes to Johnson, squeezed up, kicks a goal.
Well, this is going to be a test of the young Saints' character here, because if the gates haven't opened, they are just about bursting at the hinges here. Look at that line from the centre.
Well, 12-5 the centre clearances to Adelaide. Matthew Clark took advantage of a bad bounce, hit it to Rashudo, and straight away long to the goal square. They have been front and square terrifically well all night. McLeod unselfish to Johnson, he kicks the goal. That's so many positives in that one piece of play, but this is where it's all starting for Adelaide at the centre bounces.
See that one when he came in, McLeod, he pushed Aussie Jones to the other side of the pack, and he went ball side.
Spider really needs to get up and get his hand on this ball.
Better bounce, he gets his chance. Clark got it. Smart to Edwards. Back into Rashudo.
Well, it's 3 in a row from the centre, Bruce.
Bad handball, and Hart just slightly panicked. Thompson got it from Hamill. Riewoldt got it, not quite. You'd love him to do something spectacular, wouldn't you, in the second half? Just to have a moment to remember.
You know what, I was watching the highlights he showed at half-time of Riewoldt, and one thing the kid does, when he wins the ball and he's under pressure, he turns his back on the player to protect the ball. He protects the ball, which is an old wise trait on a young kid's shoulders. He does it very well. Gets the ball and turns and protects it from his opponent.
Clark and Everett. Free kick to Clarkey. He's got up Spider's nose tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He still hasn't had a kick. He's had 8 handballs, no kicks, and plenty of hit-outs. He'll have to kick this one.
And he wobbles it, doesn't he, to Perry. Free kick to Ryan, surely.
Should have
Gee,
been.
Perry just smashed into him. Begley cut off by Vardy. Here's danger.
This is home.
One bounce. He'll kick a goal. He's 50 out. Loads it up. Misses.
Oh, it's a shame. Good pick that coming from the wing. All the backmen with St Kilda were so worried about their direct opponents. They ran goalward with the ball and their opponents, so nobody came to him to meet him. He should have done better.
Young short to Ryan. Gee, the Saints, they're having the ride of their life, all right, aren't they? It's one, boy, to Wolf.
It's been all right, this young fella.
To Aussie Jones.
Use it, Aussie.
Has to deliver here. He's got time. He's a good kick on the left. Kicks to Barry Hall and Riewoldt. Front spot. Shirley was front. Can the Saints get it out? Callahan trying, searching. Gallagher gets back. And then Powell, no high tackle. Barry should kick a goal. Hooks it back. He's got it. The big fella's kicked it.
Second goal for Barry Hall. Worked pretty hard too. 6 possessions, 3 marks, 2 goals. Hasn't had as much supply as his counterparts at the other end of the ground, the other forwards for Adelaide. For the Saints, he's been all right. Started slowly, got his hands on it, and worked pretty well then.
Just don't feel like there's anyone in the Crows when Barry's at full pace that can actually stop him. That can bring him down physically. You reckon he could almost barge through them?
I think he could do that to just about anybody in the competition, Bruce. Once he gets in front, he's a big, strong man. He's aggressive, and he doesn't take his eye off the football. I think Barry Hall's a player who you can build a forward line around.
So 7-4 to 13-12. Thompson out of the centre to half forward. Hamill's big fly. Goodwin read it best. Can't quite take. Hamill hassles him off the footy. It's his trademark, isn't it? Goes back to Thompson, busy to Cripps. Squeezed up. Not a bad kick.
Well.
He's found Barry Hall.
Play on.
Not paid. Hall out wide. Well done, Stevens. Back to Wolf. Funny old kick to the pocket. Shirley held on to. Should have got a free kick. Ball out of play.
Dermot, there's those hands again. We mentioned the first quarter a couple of times. Just drop that mark.
Would you have paid it? I thought he almost had it low enough.
I thought he almost had it.
No, maybe not.
Well, no one spoiled him. He just coughed it up. That's why the umpire said.
Nice kick by Cripps to set him up too.
And he meant it, Cripps, too, didn't he, under pressure? It was good vision.
Gee, Clark doing really well here. Ridden into the ground. Should get a free kick. The advantage given to Johnson. Not much advantage. Mark taken by Oliver. Well done.
Good play by Gehrig to protect Oliver.
To Young, to Hall. Spiders drop forward here. Barry won't be able to get it to him. The kick wide to Ryan.
Overcooked it.
Well, McLeod might take Ryan on here. No, he pays him due respect and kicks it to Jarman.
He's got to turn a toe, Damien Ryan.
Jarman's handball, clever. Releases Goodwin. Goodwin.
With strong lead by Hewitt.
So Hewitt at half forward. Rashudo one out against... well, Stevens has dropped down. I said Rashudo one out, so Stevens twice has come off Barry Hall here.
And Rashudo protected Stevens very well. In the end, he knew Stevens was coming in from the side. He just held back and kept Aussie out of the contest.
He's blowing, but I tell you what, he's making Barry blow too, isn't he?
Yeah.
And we'll just see here. Stevens knew he'd get protected. Good team play.
Those three blokes again, Bruce, you called them. McLeod to Jarman, to Goodwin,
Yep.
and then Robbie just mentioned Rashudo. Those four have been brilliant tonight.
I reckon the key, Dipper, if the Crows' good players played well tonight, they were going to be hard to stop, weren't they? And they have played well. Stevens, close. They like it. He's kicked the second.
He does swing him right to left.
Well, he's matched Barry Hall here. It's 2 for 2.
It's all about the Crows' top four, isn't it? If they can get hold of the footy, they're going to go all right on any given occasion.
That's what happened against Richmond, wasn't it? I mean, when they took charge in the midfield, McLeod, Goodwin, Rashudo.
Goodwin had a blinder after half-time. And, well, McLeod just had a blinder all night on that occasion.
And Dipper, what about the bench for the Crows? Haven't seen Robran all night or Crowell.
No, those two players are the only two players here tonight haven't been used, and the bench for the Crows only been used, what, 3 times compared to the Saints about 10 times tonight, Robert.
So Clark against Oliver now on the ruck.
Everett to full forward.
So Spider's gone to full forward. Here's Gehrig. Haven't seen any dash off half back from him. That's a good kick. Beautiful kick round the body. So Oliver again, he's been okay. To Wolf, been all right. To Powell, to Riewoldt at full forward. Worked out of it by Stenglein. Ball still to be won. Bassett keeps his eye on it. And Hamill from the front, ball up.
Dermot, do you think Malcolm Blight ran out of patience with Spider in the ruck and thought, well, look, here's an opportunity to give young Oliver some quality ruck time against one of the best players going around in Matthew Clark?
Oh, definitely will. So I think he's just thought to himself, it's just not working for him tonight. He's actually altered his own run at the ball now, Spider, in the centre bounces. And Clark's having that effect on him, so he's gone forward with him.
Bassett looked high on Bickley, advantage given. Bickley runs away. Kicks to Vardy and a one out with Beetham. Well done, Beetham. Hasn't had many individual victories tonight. Just 3 kicks, I think, prior to this. Centre half forward. Everett, big fly. Good mark in the front. Is that hard?
Yep.
Well, he's a tall man. He looked dwarfed by Spider, didn't he? Kicks it wide to Edwards, having a terrific match.
Vardy's worked off Beetham now.
Here's Vardy.
Oliver's done well to push back in the defensive 50 for the Saints.
So Bassett now, so both Bassett and Stevens prepared to run hard here and run forward. The kick to the goal square, oh, the fly came early and Aussie in the right spot and then delivers as he normally does out wide to Cripps.
Last minute's been circle work. Crows take it down the other side and Saints bring it up this one. Yep, that's a fair grab.
Wants Riewoldt, but poor kick. And McLeod cuts it off to Gallagher. He's got Johnson in the centre. He'll find him. Johnson to Goodwin. Goodwin held up by Thompson. Can go back to Johnson if he wants to. Gets so much purchase on that left. Out wide. Vardy worked underneath it. Beetham versus Vardy. May find the line. It does.
Stenglein off the ground and Marsh is on the ground. So both Clark and Marsh on the ground. Obviously, Marsh is taking over the ruck work where Clark is staying with Everett up the forward line.
And have a look at the centre breaks there. Adelaide absolutely dominating. Clark's gone back to the back pocket to play on Peter Everett. I'd
Yes,
keep
he's
him in the
just
ruck. I'd keep Clark in the ruck.
Just trying to get into Spider Everett's brain, I reckon.
So it's coming back, free kick to Josh. Marsh did play back against Josh Fraser a couple of weeks ago, did pretty well.
Yeah, I just think Matthew Clark in the ruck should have it over young Oliver, and Marsh could go back and play on Spider.
Marsh did all right playing as like a centre-half back against Josh Fraser a couple of years ago.
Oh, trouble here. Beetham just got out. Sorry, Dermy.
That's right.
Again cut off. Johnson over the top of it. The Saints get numbers around it. Bickley gets it out. Goes back to Gallagher. Gallagher pops it up. Hewitt nearly. Well done, Hutchison. To Jones. So the last two front and squares, the defenders of the Saints have done all right. Here's Wolf. Good kick again in Riewoldt. Lovely take. Is that his first mark?
Yes.
First one on the lead.
Good looking kick to Hall. They come from everywhere. Stevens doing well. Bickley very cleverly done. To Hart, to Smart. Some old names there. Smart very wide. Stretches Johnson on the lead. Out of bounds.
That was a real pack, that last one in the Saints forward line, wasn't it?
Daniel Wolf on the wing, number 30 for the Saints. Very impressed with him. He's had 15 possessions.
So there's our website tonight for all the sporting information. Now Marsh has gone on to Everett.
Well, they must be listening to you, Derm.
You.
Here's Clark to Rashudo. Gee, Edwards, that was a good stretch. To Hart, lovely build-up, lovely kick. Can't quite find Hewitt. Saints with numbers back. Gehrig. Can't find Jman. Well, he's out here. That's where he was. Still Gehrig. Still Gehrig. Uncertain. Not a great kick, but Wolf did well.
Good player. He's a good player. He's good overhead. He's a good size. Nice kick.
He's 21. It's only his second game. Kicks it wide to Thompson. Kept it in. Still Thompson. Didn't use Hamill. Neat kick. Stevens got a bit of pace. So's Hall. Stevens and Hall. It's been a good matchup. Barry takes them on.
He got one high there.
He got one high, and he got pushed in the back, and he gets the free against him. That is tough umpiring.
What's the first one?
Rashudo.
There you go. He's got one high, and he's ridden into the ground. Sometimes the umpires look at players and think, big, tough guy, he can cop that kind of punishment. Yeah, he's been stiffed there, Barry Hall.
Well, the crowd's booing, and they've got every right to.
I reckon they've had some tough decisions tonight, the Saints.
There it is. Big Barry, let's have a look at it.
Look, he's attacked the footy. Now, maybe not one across the throat, but got to be ridden into the ground, doesn't he?
He's a bit stiff.
Matthew Rodman about to come on, and Crowler's also on, so the bench is used for the Crows.
Clark doing so well. Rashudo to Goodwin on the perfect position, the left foot. Goodwin, beautiful looking kick to Jman. He'll like this Jman if he can take Jones. We know how good he is on the left, but he's not too good that time. In fact, he's missed 3 shots for goal. Interesting, against Collingwood, he had 7 shots in the first half and kicked 6 goals. He had 4 shots in the second half and kicked 3 points.
Yeah, well, set shots they were too. I reckon the swing onto the left foot like that, I reckon Jarman's the best set shot and beautiful poise on the right foot. But on the left foot, swinging like that, I reckon nobody's better on their non-dominant side like that than Paul Hudson.
Yep. Just had to kick it lower, Jarman.
Yeah. Yep.
Beetham short. Fancy trying to tell Jman how to kick a footy. It's an insult to him, isn't it?
How stupid are we to even dare bring up the topic?
Can I say something better you than me? There's Young in the back pocket, asked to play on, gets around, goes to Thompson at half-back. He's worked pretty hard, Thompson.
19th possession.
Clark, well done. He's having a terrific night. Goodwin's take was terrific to Gallagher. Kane Johnson with courage. Can't get back. Gehrig takes a good one. Oh, not Payne. Surely he marked it. Vardy. Gehrig cuts it off. Johnson can't get it. Rashudo gets a high tackle, gets a free kick. I thought Gehrig marked it.
Well, Kane Johnson came back. No, in the end, I guess he coughed it up, but Kane Johnson's the player responsible for Rashudo having a shot at goal, because it looked like it'd be a certain mark, but he made sure he put a contest in. In the end, ball gets relayed to Rashudo. He gets the free kick. Kane Johnson, well done.
Gee, the Crows have been terrific in the packs, haven't they, with their hand movement, their quick handballs. We saw Goodwin just get out a quick handball there. Fantastic play tonight.
I have to say that about the umpires. At least they're consistent. Everybody who hasn't completely gloved the ball tonight, secured it, they've called it play on.
15 free kicks for the night only. 9 to the Crows, 6 to the Saints.
Well, you have to earn one, don't you?
We're right behind the Roo. It's a goal.
Lovely
It's a
kick.
goal. Get the feeling that they're starting to play in some dangerous sort of form. They might be hard to beat for the next month. Their good players are really finding some form.
I don't see. Well, the thing that I reckon is dangerous about Adelaide, look, who knows whether they get into the 8 or not, but they might shape the form of some of the teams that are in there. The dangerous thing is they were competitive basically with everybody this year, but they never had key forwards. Now, if Perry starts marking it and Hewitt can get hands on, they're going to be dangerous.
That's only the 4th time this year the Crows have scored over 100 points for the season.
I was about to say it'd be interesting to find out their season high, because 15 goals is a good return.
They got 19 against Brisbane up at the Gabba. So they're on for their first 20-goal game of the season, you would think. And the Saints have got to tick over the scoreboard. They haven't been able to do it. Hall the target, nearly, then bursts away. Stevens stays with him,
Going for
kicks the Spider, got him, couldn't take it. He's having a dreadful night, Spider. Marsh, well done. There's a win. Not sure if Clark was the man to handball it to. Back to Marsh. So the two giraffes come away with it beautifully and come out wide. Crowell on the field. Goodwin knocking up, getting possessions. Kicks to Jman. Rather a Perry. Now Jman at the back runs it over the
Now
line.
you really went for the animal kingdom there. 2 giraffes beat a spider.
They did.
Big Spiders.
Gee.
Big Spider's taken only 1 mark tonight, and you would have sworn he would have taken that one. Just disappointing. He's back in the ruck now, doing the ruck work against Robert.
The thing that did him was it wasn't a 1 grab.
Did well there, Spider. Down to Cripps, who goes to ground. Kosicki under the gun. Goodwin's tackle was good. I feel like Spider has to get his hands dirty now. He's got to make a statement somewhere.
Well, he's got to fight back. He was beaten by Clark. Real opportunity now to ruck well against Robert. Robert's not a ruckman. He's a centre-half forward, centre-half back.
And what he is too, Robert, tonight, very fresh, obviously just come on. And one thing for the Saints, who've been there all night, the backmen, so fresh legs with Robin could sort them out.
So Clark back in the ruck. Beetham, handball away. Good play by Vardy. McLeod, terrific spot up to Bickley. Bickley, short, good, Perry.
They've just, well, once again, they go inside 50. That stat we had up at the inside 50. He's only been in 30 times, St Kilda, and they're approaching 50 here, the Crows. So they've annihilated him. This bloke's been sensational this evening, and he's now still getting kicks against that man, Fraser Garrick, who is the Saints' best player.
14th mark inside the forward 50 for Adelaide. St Kilda have only had 3. A lot of that depends on the quality of ball going in, and we've seen the Saints go forward from the wing and really make it hard for their forwards with sloppy kicking.
He's kicked 2-3, Perry. So he's kicked 2-4. He can't get a bag. He had a lot of shots for goal last week. There's Riewoldt, who's having a spell.
Has he got a little bit of a limp, Riewoldt? Just seems... No, he's all right.
So Perry's last 3 matches, he's kicked 3 goals, 8.
Yeah.
Cripps, well done, continues to do well. Kosicki.
Now Spider's moved through the traffic here. If he sees him and he keeps going, Spider, they've ignored him. He goes to the goal square, and
This is
Spider.
where they need a good kick into the forward 50, and that's just one out in front of Spider, which should do it.
You've got to push, you've got to mark, you'll get a free kick. And the Saints fans say, at long last.
And I think he might have, the St Kilda player might have kicked the goal. Did Spider actually ask that to be play on advantage? He had to do something, Bickley.
That should have been held.
Well, on a night like tonight, this will test him, won't it? I mean, he's had a dreadful night. His confidence will be low.
He's kicked 19-15 for the season.
He actually...
4 goals, 5 to a goal this quarter. The Saints, he has to kick this.
He really looks like he actually blows pretty hard after pushing forward. Looks fatigued.
45 metres out. Those 19 goals, Wolsey, he got 9 of them in 2 matches. 5 against Western Bulldogs in the opening round and 4 against the Bombers here on a Friday night match. He was almost on for a miss there, wasn't he?
Yeah. He knew straight away. It's actually pretty good by foot for a big fella.
Hart, Clark and Marsh, the twin targets. Hall at the back. And then the handball from Cripps was good to Hamill. Hamill's kick probably just cut off. Ambitious Hart was held on to. Must get a free kick.
Bit off too much, Aaron Hamill.
Hart's been efficient, hasn't he?
Oh, they're everywhere.
Oh, look at the Crows. They can just go down the line here. Stevens will use Goodwin. Goodwin can run his full measure and then kicks towards the goal square. I think Johnson, the target. He's got it.
Yeah.
That's a good grab.
That was a super mark because we'll see it again. He just reached over the top of his opponent to pluck it out of Matthew Young's grasp. He's behind Matthew Young and he just reaches over the top. Gee, it's a good mark. He knew what he was doing every step of the way.
They've been pushing him forward this year, Johnson. He's been short of a run, but they have been pushing him forward. This could be a third goal, and he's got it. He's so important to the Crows. I mean, if they've got 4 or 5 good players, he's the next one. When he's fit, he's as good as their best player.
Has he got absolute pace back since his injuries?
Probably not, but he hasn't lost his skill or his football brain.
That is a terrific mark. He knew what he was doing, just came over the top and plucked it out of Matthew Young's grasp. I just think Kane Johnson, he played in premierships for the Crows. When he's up and firing, they tend to be a good side.
Well, they reckon he runs in straight lines better than any of their players. And he did a job on Harvey, didn't he, in that first grand final. Here's Wolf to half, Oliver to half forward. No, it was Wolf, and the chase from Callaghan, boundary throw it. Gary Ayres has got to be happy. This is the first time that Adelaide are going to win a game by over 5 goals all year. They've got a dreadful percentage. This is going to help them.
I think they enjoy playing here at Colonial.
Everett and Clark. Clark had an ordinary year with Adelaide last year. Was still studying. He has finished that course that you talked about, Wolves, and he's had a terrific season this one. Hamill back to Thompson. Good tackle, Johnson. He could have got him high, and he didn't. And Callaghan's kick went nowhere. Bickley's having the match, isn't he?
That was the first definitive win in the ruck in the boundary line throw-in by Spider against Clark as well.
McLeod to Marsh. Crows have had a terrific term to Bassett. Their defenders have run hard from down back. Bassett's kick, and the siren beats them. So 5 goals to the Crows and 1 to the Saints. And they're on for a 10-goal win here.
Watch this.
Good on you, Mark. Thanks very much. Back to you, Bruce.
Gee, thanks for that, Andy. Interesting signs. He ain't the Messiah. He's just a very naughty boy, and Malcolm's no saint. Gee, well, this is Blighty coming down at 3/4 time. Peter Jonas behind him. What a week he's had, Malcolm.
I think he would have been pretty angry at 3/4 time with the efforts of his ruckman. Spider got out-rucked, dropped marks, missed a set shot for goal when they just desperately needed to kick more than the one that they did.
There he is, the big Spider. Feels like we're picking on him, but he's been their best player all year, and tonight Clark's taken him apart.
And again.
Edwards, good tackle. Crows have been so good at getting it out of the centre. Let's hope that the Saints can have a productive quarter here. Wolf's been good. Hamill had a terrific second quarter. Hard on him, just gives to Everett. Everett, he's got to come back, does he?
Yep.
Well, that's a shame because Adelaide flood back now.
Might have done Spider the world a good to dob one through early too.
Yeah.
So Hamill goes to the pocket to Hall. Good kick, good mark.
It was a brilliant kick because there was just no height in it. It was bullet-like. About 4 or 5 Saints go to Aaron Hamill and they compliment him on the kick.
There's Barry Hall, left-hand side of screen, first and third quarters. He's coughed up marks everywhere. Right-hand side of screen, second and this, the last quarter. He's got sticky fingers.
That's his 6th mark of the night. Could have taken 10 or 11.
Yep.
It's a fact, Dermot, but don't ask me for an explanation.
Can't give you one.
From the pocket, he's kicked it. Well, at the moment, if the game stopped, you'd say Hamill Hall, not bad, wouldn't you? Not bad.
Yep. He's just been inconsistent, the man on screen, Barry Hall. But I reckon Hamill's been very good. He's attacked the ball, and that's a good pair of hands. Garrick's been fantastic at the other end of the ground.
It's just the 4th mark inside their forward 50. Spoke about the quality of ball going in. That was a great kick by Aaron Hamill.
So Barry Hall's kicked both the goals the Saints have got after half-time. It's a big responsibility on his shoulders, isn't it? I mean, he's basically their lone gun forward.
He's at an age where he's got to step up to it now, though.
Thompson got it from Powell. Wide kick. Oliver out wide. Looked gangly, didn't he?
Couldn't turn.
Marsh out of play.
Better at the centre bounce there by the Saints. Just so important because you get quick clearance.
Jarmania.
So he's got his own cheer squad here, Jman.
Magnificent.
Gary Ayres was hard at the Crows at three-quarter time. I think just asking them for another big last quarter. Rashudo, Bickley, can't get it out. Bickley hands and knees to Marsh. Well done. Kick to Clark, and he'll get a free kick against Everett.
And Spider points back at the umpire. I reckon he would have said, be consistent.
It's 15
Talk to
metres.
him now.
It's 15 metres.
A bit of a dong to the scon and then the abuse, and that won't please the coach. And it's just not a good example to the rest of the team.
Is that the culture he's talking about, Malcolm?
Got to be better than that.
So Clark to Rodman, haven't seen him all night. Nearly, not quite. So how does Blighty respond to Spider here?
Well, Spider's still having a word with the umpire. Umpire's not going to change his mind.
Look, there's certain players who can still do that and have a go at the umpire, but then they make their focus the ball next time. He's having to go at everything.
I tell you, one of them, Goran Ivanisevic.
Yeah, he did all right.
Rashudo couldn't quite. Vardy tries to bang through, can't. Ball up.
Yeah, but when the next point came on after he spat the dummy, he went straight at it again, that Goran Ivanisevic.
Yeah, the runners, boys, are
Hovering.
the St Kilda runners run out to Oliver. I think he's looking for Everett, so Riewoldt will probably replace him.
Thanks, Dipper. Clark and Everett. Everett bangs it.
Well done.
Powell, little kick away. Gee, Goodwin's been terrific. Tries to get away, just too strong. Ryan should have been able to hold him in the tackle. He couldn't. The kick to centre half forward. McLeod and Clark with the runners, the flyers. Jones towards the line. Everett's coming off the ground.
Well, the runner just screamed at him from about 25 metres away and just, with one arm, just hoiked it and said, get off the ground. So Malcolm's patience is worn thin.
Hasn't spoken to him yet, Malcolm, has he?
No.
Put the phone down as soon as Spider went to the bench. Gary Ayres would be pleased to have him off too, wouldn't he? I mean, he is a potential danger man.
Exactly. And that's why he's got a real responsibility to lead the way for this young St Kilda team. There's no Lowe, there's no Burke, there's no Harvey on the ground. He's a senior player.
Rob Harvey biting the nails.
With Nathan Burke, and we saw Stewie Lowe at half-time.
Wasn't just biting that nail either.
Powell's little kick went nowhere. Rashudo. Just good body strength. Cripps hard at it. Goodwin, fantastic.
Isn't that significant of Adelaide? Now, the ball's gone nowhere. There's no glamorous play on show here. But the way that Rashudo was over the ball, took the punishment from Hamill, didn't cough the ball up, then Goodwin got his body over it, and he took the punishment as well. That's just significant of those two blokes. Big, strong bodies for midfielders.
Hart. McLeod tried to belt it out. Riewoldt. Back to Hart. Didn't go anywhere. He's done well, Ben Hart. Goodwin again to Bickley. Left foot. He blazed a bit. Had nowhere really to go. Got put down. Ball belted away by Gehrig. Beetham to the line. Out.
Got a bit of a stalemate here at the moment.
Crows haven't scored a goal in nearly 6 minutes. So Hewitt, Smart, Perry, Gallagher. So Ayres really turned them over a bit here, hasn't he?
He'd be a bit tired too, Ian Perry. He actually led up very, very hard from inside 50 to outside forward 50.
Young Riewoldt on Clark, and the bigger, stronger man winning easily.
Rashudo got it from Clark. Vardy in the pocket. It's a behind.
So you'd back him normally from that one?
Well, look, I don't mind seeing Riewoldt in the ruck because he deserves to have a crack. It's his first game of league football. He'll have a go no matter what the odds are. Spider's had plenty of chances. So, you know, play Oliver, play Riewoldt, get Beetham on the half-back flank. We're seeing Malcolm try a few things with his team tonight, which I think is good.
Riewoldt, 193 centimetres, is going to give away a bit of size and height.
Crows zones work well for them tonight. Vardy, Rashudo, he's got plenty of time to deliver to Bickley. Just outside his range. He wants Jarman. He's found him.
And he looks around at the mark and thinks, I'll bite off every inch here. If I can get it, if I'm within range, Don't stretch me.
He needs a goal here, Jman. I mean, he just needs a goal. He's had a terrific second quarter. He's certainly been a terrific contributor, but he's missed a few, and he just needs a fourth goal here. Let's see if he can. We're right behind him. It looks good. Has he got the legs? He's got it. He's kicked 4.
There's a big difference between 3 goals and 4 goals. If you kick 3, you can still be termed, not saying that Jman is, you can still kick 3 goals and be an ordinary player or even a bad player, beaten on the night. But if you kick 4 goals, you've had a definite effect on the game.
It's hard to keep you out of the best players when you get 4. When you get 3, you can get kept out pretty easy, I reckon.
And again, young Oliver doing the ruck work. This is all good experience for this kid.
Does Everett come back on the ground? What's your guess?
I wouldn't bring him back on. I'd let the kids play it out.
Clark wins it.
You're a hard man,
You've
Wolsey.
always been a hard man, Wolsey. But I would have expected no different answer. Goodwin's kicked the centre half forward. Gehrig, Johnson, good tackle. Cripps takes them on. Good strong work there by Vardy. Robin still hasn't really had a touch. Aussie didn't take it. Belted it away. Begley versus Goodwin. Gee, Goodwin, what a game he's had. Cut off by Beetham. Back to Goodwin. I think he's exhausted, Goodwin. Rashudo's hip and shoulder effective. Beetham, handball okay to Cripps. Wonderful first half. Back to Aussie Jones. Neat little kick to Thompson. Had plenty of it, Thompson. This will be 24 possessions. Inside okay. Baker, quiet game. Back to Cripps. She's going to be tired tonight. Kicks it round the corner. Hart, terrific. Should have got a free kick against Hamill that time. Edwards, oh, Crown nearly. And that's probably the best result in the end for the Crows. He's quick, Crow. He nearly made that.
Yeah, very, very quick.
Now, Mark Bickley's just in front of me, boys. I had a cup of tea with his mum on Thursday night in Solomon Town. She's brought 8 of her girlfriends here at the game, and he's played a terrific game tonight. I reckon he'd be in the votes, wouldn't he?
21 possessions. Dipper, stop urging. Hart, Baker. Bassett's been solid. He's not pretty Bassett, but he can be effective. Edwards, Goodwin, speaking of the votes, kicks to half forward. Robran, the belt away at the back was effective. Back to Young.
Actually looks mechanical, Matthew Robran, since he's come on. He's not with any zest whatsoever.
Kazitsky's kick, and Hart again.
He's done a good job on Hamill since he's moved on to him.
Just their kicking lets them down as they go forward.
McLeod wide. Gee, that's a terrific spotter. This is for Byrne. We haven't seen much of him. He's got Robran short. Not a great kick to Vardy. Beetham did well. Plays on. And then goes down to Barry Hall.
Beetham's won every ball that's been overcooked on the Vardy lead. And now I hope the kid doesn't think that's the proper way to play as a backman, behind all the time.
Baker to Jones. Cut off. McLeod. Johnson. Clever. Brilliant, actually. To Rashudo. Does he take them on? No, he kicks to Jman.
And all of that resulted from an errant Aussie Jones handball inside the centre square. They had the momentum, they had the numbers, and it was just a poor handball by Aussie that got intercepted, and then it just rebounds. It hurts you if you give up the ball as easily as that.
Now,
here's Aussie, and we'll just see his handball just gets intercepted there. Cripps was on the burst, he would have taken it, and Bassett.
Now Darren Jarman has got great relationship with his foot. He's been swinging them right to left tonight, so this will be a difficult kick for him.
He's got it, I think, Dermot.
Yep.
Kick 5.
Right. Well, they'll smile at Max this time.
Well, interesting for Blighty too, because Malcolm had a very interesting relationship with Darren Jarman. They had their highs and they had their lows, and I think Jarman would be pretty happy to have a match tonight like this.
14 in the last 3 games if he stops now.
And just the difference there, Aussie's handball pretty sloppy, McLeod's handball really sharp.
It's that time of the year where the teams that are going poorly play very badly. Freo is one example, the Saints the other.
I know it's undercover, but the winter months, you train in the open fields and it takes a little bit of sting out of your legs, and if you're going poorly, that's the way you play.
I reckon Adelaide would enjoy playing on a decent ground in good conditions. They usually play in pretty wet conditions over there.
Long grass at Footy Park, very dewy Saturday nights. It's a point that John Reid made this week there. They were really itching to get to Colonial. Fast track.
They grow it to 30 mil, I think, in Adelaide, the grass, if you want to be technical.
Gee, McLeod was good. We're just sorting that out. Dipper's sorting that 30 mils out for you.
Yep.
Crow, first kick for him, not bad. To the pocket, Rashudo uses his body cleverly. Jman brought down. Jman, well done. Back to Vardy, miss it. No, he doesn't. He passes to McLeod, who kicks a goal. He didn't really, but it doesn't matter.
It's party time. Look, they're on an outing now.
13 premiership players still in this team. 13 out of the 22. Is there any chance of a revival late in the season?
Well, they're going to bring up their 8th win, and I've had a look at their future draw, and there are 4 very winnable games coming up in their last 7. And look, 12 will just about get you into the 8.
It's their biggest score for the year. They've gone past their Brisbane score. They'll kick 20, you reckon, for the first time this year.
Good sign to see a team go quarter by quarter and just build their lead. Best way to win a game of football is to win every quarter. That's what the Crows will do tonight. And Dipper, how tall's the grass out there? He's gone home.
I think you've been on it, haven't you?
That's
Jman
true, they grow it longer.
to Edwards. Edwards short to Rashudo.
So, boys, I've been getting a hot dog. What have you been talking about the grass a bit?
Don't worry about it. Dipper, it's not worth worrying about. How's Mrs. Bickley going?
She's going well with her 8 friends.
I tell you what, Dipper, that's lucky to have 8 friends, some people, aren't they?
Oh, some of us have got more, Bruce.
And this mark taken in the forward 50 by Rashudo. That's the 19th of the night by the Crows inside their forward 50. That is an enormously high number. 19 marks inside your forward 50. St Kilda, on the other hand, have only taken 4.
He's had another good night, Rashudo. He's picked up in the last fortnight. Gee, he struck it beautifully. He struck it beautifully. Tell you what, they're going to enjoy the plane trip home, aren't they? So a lot of blokes are going to feel like they're in good nick.
Well, it's the first time they got a return of 20 goals. And, yep, you kick 20 goals against a team, that means the other team's defence is deficient.
Good ruck work again by Clark. Just a little tap over the back, take it forward, handball off. Tyson Edward puts it out in front. Bit of a training run at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, they have some satisfied faces there. Do you reckon if Ian Collins said to Gary Eaves, would you like to play your home games at Colonial, might come over?
Or you take 1 or 2 of them as extras.
They are firing here, Adelaide. Their best form has been outside of Adelaide this year. This will be their 4th win away from home. And they've taken some scalps. This is not a scalp, admittedly, but Carlton, Richmond and Brisbane away from Adelaide this year.
And here last year, they were one of the very few teams in the league to be in front of Essendon at 3/4 time here at Colonial Stadium. So, look, it's not against their better nature, this ground.
Gee, what a night Cripps has had. To kick to half forward. Adelaide with the numbers. Stevens to Hart. In trouble. Got a handball away. I reckon they're gone now. No free kick. Gee, unlucky the Saints.
28 possessions, Jason Cripps, and Dermot, for him to be able to continue on his first game of AFL in 3 years, it's an absolute tribute to the young man that he's been able to prepare himself for this day.
Got to find out how sentimental the vote giver is tonight. Does he get Cripps in there?
Wallsy. I think it's you, isn't it?
Am I doing the votes?
No,
I
me.
always go for the ruckman.
A real battle here at half forward.
I've just been told from the van, Bruce, it's me giving the votes.
So what about the Saints after Blighty's week? What happens? Got any ideas?
I reckon he's thick-skinned. He just doesn't mind what they say about him.
You just keep playing the kids. Riewoldt,
Oliver,
Kaczynski.
Bassett, back to Goodwin. He's had a fantastic match, Goodwin. Gee, that was good play. Bickley down low. Geez, mum would have liked that. Kick to centre wing, beat them. Good mark.
He's got better as the game's gone on. He's playing across half-back. Look, he's basically grew up as a midfielder, and he's got experience across the half-back flank. He'll be a player for them.
And for all Vardy's energy tonight, he's only kicked the one goal.
Yeah.
Good kick.
Terrific.
Kaczynski.
Yeah, and St Kilda supporters should look at that and say, that's our future. Play the kids.
Room down the spine.
A 19-year-old to an 18-year-old it was. Beetham to Kaczynski. Hamill, great tackle. He threw it away and he's pinged.
Pinged an arm, McLeod, and he's away.
The advantage from McLeod to Marsh. Slowly away.
Perry's back on.
Kick to Perry, not a good one. Gehrig nearly. He's in trouble now. Perry works it forward. Vardy might add to that total we were talking about. Oh, he's been doing it all year. He has been spraying them. 1 goal, 3 tonight.
Lady on the right. Not too happy with this evening's procession.
What about this fella, Woolsey? Aussie. Where's he at?
His future's very shaky. He's been given opportunities over the last couple of years, and he just hasn't consolidated a position. He was a terrific winger 4 years ago, but that's a long time.
Yep.
You just got to ask, what's gone wrong with this team? Stan Alves coached them to winning seasons. Seems the players weren't happy. Change of coach, another change of coach. And what have they won? 8 games in 48.
Before tonight, in their last 48 matches, they've won 8.
They've got a culture of the tail wagging the dog. They've gone to Robin. He can thump it.
To Marsh. I haven't seen Peckett all night. Ben Hart, handball over the top. Byrne, he'd love to kick a goal from the pocket. And he's kicked it behind. Yeah, no, it's a great question. Well, there you go. There's certain things that you like doing with the footy.
She's not even looking at it.
At least she's arrived.
She's embarrassed.
I think she's been given a hard time. At least she's turned up.
Yeah, exactly.
Gehrig.
That wasn't Mrs. Bickley, by the way.
Kicked up. Thanks for that, Tipper. Ben Hart, good match again. He's had 3 in a row, Ben Hart. He got shaken up by the Bulldogs and the Bombers in 2 consecutive weeks, but he's come back strongly. That's not a good kick. Voss, Crow with a chance. Can he take it cleanly? Well, he threw it, did he?
Kicked 6 goals the first half, St Kilda, and I thought they were okay.
15 metres for the Saints. They're going to enjoy this.
Only kicked 2 goals in this second half, and that's what's disappointing. They've fallen away.
I thought there was a 50, but not. Aussie Jones out in the full.
He's minding Matthew Robin at the moment, and he's saying, somebody come and get him. He's a bit big for me, this cat.
Remember that grand final, his famous run Aussie down the wing?
Yeah.
Boy, it's been a big 4 years for some of the Crows compared with the Saints that played against them in that match.
Troy Schwartz came over and approached Robin, couldn't do the job.
Perry the target, Gehrig at the back.
Thump.
To Bickley. Bickley measured the kick to Marsh. It was a good one. Marsh has got it. Kick the goal. Blighty admitted on 588 at Cornsey and KG that he'd had some thoughts about whether he should have taken a couple of weeks off, maybe a month or 2, and rethought his decision to go in 99 at the end of the year. He said, still got a big soft spot for the Crows. Boy, oh boy, I'd love to get inside Blighty's mind right now. Love to know what he's thinking. I'm trying to lead you blokes in.
Yep.
Well, does that sum it all up? That's not the ride of your life, is it?
No, they're the die-hard supporters, and he knows he's on screen, so he's getting a bit of ribbing there.
Yeah, been 15 down with 10 minutes to go.
You would wonder what was going through Malcolm's mind, having coached 13 of the opposition players tonight to premiership glory, and then come out tonight and see his own team just belted in the second half.
Great support running by Goodwin.
Adelaide have been fantastic tonight. The kick by
witness.
Jman Nilly. He'll have to get it out. He tries. He's gone. Gee whiz, I thought he was trying to get it out.
Kind of thing that Jarman pulls off half the time running back. I thought that one was going to stick in the right arm.
Well, he wags his finger and doesn't get 50. Spider wags his finger and does. Begley at half back, but he had a smile on his face.
He mumbles though.
There's
Can't
Hamill.
understand him.
Hamill's kicked to half forward. Kaczynski, the bounce beat him.
Big Spider back on.
Bassett. Out wide. Marsh has been all right, hasn't he?
He's been good. He's been good.
He'll get it back here. He'll have to.
To Byrne. He put Byrne under the pump. Byrne struggled to get it away. Voss has had a very ordinary night. His form has dropped away, Brett Voss, after a good start. Begley.
Only 3 possessions to Voss.
To Hamill. To Baker. Not great vision by Hamill. I mean, Baker was gone the moment he handballed it to him.
Look, Aaron Hamill's strength is his attack on the football. Some of his decision-making lets him down, but you could never accuse him of not giving his absolute all.
So, free kick to Spider.
Bruce, I just think one of the real big improvements in Adelaide has been the use of Clark in the ruck. I reckon last year they played 4 different ruckmen. They just kept switching them around.
Chance for Voss. He's kicked a goal.
They just kept switching their ruckman around. Clark needs, I reckon any good ruckman needs to be given time on the ball. He needs to get his rhythm up, his momentum up, his jumping and so on. And you've just got to settle on one player. And Brett Voss there in his 50th game, not much celebration after he kicked that.
Well, see, tell us well, it looks like the Saints got a pretty tough draw for a win for the rest of the season. What does Blighty do? Does he coach them to try and win quarters? You know, win individual battles out of the junior kids that he's playing? Because it's going to be tough for him to win a game. Does he coach for little games within each match?
I think you do. You go quarter by quarter. That's right. And you forget about the scoreboard. Look, it's no good worrying about the scoreboard now. They've just got to try to get a bit of system.
McLeod brilliantly to Goodwin. Magnificent footy. Great stuff.
Stand up and applaud. That is a training drill, and they made it look sweet.
That was what Essendon did last week when Ramanaskas kicked that goal.
Yeah.
It was teamwork at its absolute best. Gee, well, how good has Goodwin been tonight?
He's been terrific. What I like about him, he's got skill, he's got class, but he built his game around the real 1%ers, hard at the football, doing the percentage things, and as the years have gone on, he's just blossomed into a more talented footballer. But getting back to what you said, Dermot, I just think that Malcolm Blight says, hey, let's work on our ruck clearances, let's work on our kick-ins, let's work on our zone defences, let's work on different aspects of our game, forget about the scoreboard, and let's see if we can improve.
Thompson read it well. McLeod tried to run him down. Bassett's been a good defender.
Because if they just look at the scoreboard, it's just too depressing.
Yeah, they've got to look at individual little results within each match to draw some spirit out of it.
Bickley's been terrific to Stevens, to McLeod. McLeod on the burst to Jman. Got him. Great mark.
And got one
He wants to play on, and then chips to Perry. Gone wide, but found him.
He'll want it back here, Jman. He'll wait for the crowd to go away from him. Yeah, he's having a sneak look around. I'll just make out I'm not going to go to goals, and I'll loiter out here. Perry looks inboard.
11 players have kicked goals for the Crows tonight, so they've certainly shared that.
Now, Jarman is in the corridor, and he'll be looking to get a lead in.
Perry may have to go here.
Bickley off. Plenty of applause for him.
So Perry from the pocket, floating Marsh front spot. Jones forces it over.
Well done, Aussie.
Biggest
150 points. First time for the year for the Adelaide Crows, and do they need it in terms of percentage?
Two biggest margins this year have been 119, Carlton over West Coast, 92, Port over Fremantle last week. Right now it's 91.
Hasn't been there all that many teams have kicked 150 points this year.
Kick into the centre, cut off by McLeod to Hart. Won't find the target, and Voss, who kicked a late goal.
They're having to go wide out of the back line now because the blokes at half forward are just so tired. They're not running up the middle of the ground to meet the ball carrier.
He's had a quiet night, Callaghan. Been on the bench a bit. Jones kicks wide to Barry Hall. Good mark. It's a long way from home here.
A lot of room directly in front of him, but he's going to want the spine and he's going to want to play on.
Gee, Bassett did well. Did really well here, Bassett. Out in the fall, unfortunately for him, but it was a good effort by Bassett. He's got a smile on his face.
St Kilda possession getters tonight. Jason Cripps, 28. Thompson, 25. Two of the senior boys.
Gee, Hart was good.
But the impressive one for me is Daniel Wolfe, 19. I think the kid's been good.
Hart cut off the short pass, gives it to Byrne. Now Byrne's got Rashudo a long way down. Peckett with him. Rashudo in the front spot. And over the line.
One thing, you called Wolf there, Wolsey. I noticed him, he's quite good overhead, and on the ground, he's still not quite sure with his handwork on the ball. Needs to probably work a fair bit below his knees because his hands are very good over his head. 188 centimetres they've got him at, 6'2".
Only his second game of AFL football.
Yeah.
So that is a real plus. You know, Kaczynski we talked about, Riewoldt, you play him, Beethan on the halfback flank. We've gone through it, but that's what they need to do. And if the senior blokes aren't going to pull their weight, get rid of them.
This bloke's saying, arrest that team out there. Well, maybe not. Dispute over seats.
So Hamill, just a quick handball, missed by Thompson. Hamill gets it again, back to Thompson. They've been two of the better players for the Saints. Bassett continuing to play good footy. Hall takes them on, can't get away from Hart. He's had a super game. Handball comes back to Thompson. Kaczynski, chance for Begley, can't break the tackle. Crow's tackling's been terrific. Baker brought down, Hart again, little give okay. Crow's away, I think it was young Gallagher, gets it wide to Stevens, wide to Vardy. Probably would have fancied himself for 3 or 4 tonight, Vardy. He's certainly had enough chances. Rashudo gets a few boos.
Perry's lurking.
Jman made a half-hearted lead. He goes short to McLeod.
He might try and take him on here.
McLeod's kick looks good off the boot for Robran. At the back, Jman, left foot, special, very special. He's got 6.
What a gift. What a gift that foot skill is.
He's got 6 all at one end of the ground. Left of screen.
Yes, he got 3 in the second quarter and 3 in the fourth quarter. And this is pure skill. Knew what he was doing, dropped the ball across the body, hooked it back on the left boot, and that split the middle. 5th
biggest score for the year so far. The Crows are within a couple of points of getting into the top 3. 173 is the biggest score of the year. They won't get there. There's the attendance, 26,500.
I think the last time we were here, Bruce, on a Friday night with the Crows, Darren Jarman sat most of the final quarter out.
Came on late.
Kicked 2 goals against the Bombers.
And another show.
Prosciutto to Gallagher. Gallagher to Perry. Well done, Garrick. Perry to backtrack. Beetham with him. And...
oh, son.
Gee, interesting.
Oh, bit of lenient. Well, that's one that's gone the Saints' way.
If you're a St Kilda supporter, you couldn't be unhappy with the efforts of Garrick and Hamill tonight. And Big Barry's tried hard too.
Just had to feign a disposal there once he got over the boundary. Make out he was trying to keep it in play a little bit better. Some umpires would lick their lips at that and say, you're going to be smart like that, son? Here's a free kick to the other guys.
Marsh, second effort, not bad. Hamill working for another possession. Rashudo, Jones, Hamill, geez, a tiger. Well played. Voss.
Good vision.
To Baker. He's had a quiet one. Stenglein chasing hard. He started on Hamill, still chasing. Baker still running. Too far. Oh, no, high, was it?
Yeah, on the tackle on Stenglein. Powell came in and just lifted the arm. Needed to put his body on the line. Needed to take a solid bump on the body to bump Stenglein. Instead, he just hangs the arm out. Watch it coming in from screen. Yeah. Just needed to put body on him.
Kick out wide. Robran the target. Can't quite. There's only been one 100-point margin this year. The Crows are 1 goal away, but they're running out of time. And Jones's beautiful kick will stop any of that. Here's Peckett through the centre. Late goal for the Saints.
Missed Barry.
Outnumbered. Crows will mop up. Doesn't concede Bassett. Comes long and hard. Rashudo got it. What did Roo do that upset them so much? I'm not sure.
Must have been in the past, I would think. Haven't seen anything tonight.
Well, that's a big result.
97-point margin. Adelaide have not won a game this year by over 5 goals. They have now. They've really given themselves a chance, haven't they, to go forward. Jarman got 6. Let's go down to the big tip, bud.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. You're Jason Cripps, mate. Well, fantastic effort for yourself to come back and kick a dream goal at the start. I mean, how do you feel? It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, I'm obviously relieved getting through the game and playing AFL footy again, but it's a pretty demoralising loss, and